Hi everybody, welcome back to ESP TTRPG Presents Heavensfire. I'm here with 4 out of 5 of our regularly scheduled lovely cast members. Miss Mabel Goodberry is out today, played by the amazing and incredible Nikki the Coyote Witch. But I am Essie, your storyteller for the evening. She, her pronouns, and that's it for me. So let's go around the table and do a quick introduction for everyone that's going to be playing some 5th edition with us tonight. So, Renee, who are you and who are you going to be playing tonight?
Hello, my name is Renee, and I will be playing Harmony Knives, a military sergeant under the Queen's Army who is a draconic sorcerer warlock. Woo-woo.
Woo-woo. Awesome. Thank you, Renee. And Rory. Hi.
Hello, I'm Rory, they, he pronouns. I play Key, who is a half-elf warlock with a daddy issues. And they are they, them.
I mean, you already said warlock. We knew there was
Right?
daddy issues.
Okay, fair.
There's the naming talk. I think it was right above here. Okay. And Avalon.
Hello, I'm Avalon, she, her, or they, them, and I play Willow, the half-elf armor artificer who's just happy to be here, really.
So, okay. Thank you, Avalon. And Garnet. Hi.
Hey y'all, I'm Garnet. Pronouns are she, they. I play the glamour bard, Amina Nzinga. Pronouns also she, they.
Okay. All right. So, who would like to give us a brief recap as to last session before we dive right back in? On the 25th.
I wish I could help, but I don't have my notes.
I think I can do it today.
Yay! Okay.
I mean, it's also...
Okay. So we woke up after all of the events by the dock, and to discover that Babel had taken Dawn for a walk in the forest. And we decided to just enjoy the breakfast that she left us of like super tasty cinnamon rolls. There was a lot of internal things that we all had to deal with from the previous evening. He got a very interesting message from their dad that morning, which is not necessarily a great way to start the day, is having your dad talk to you in your head after you've just been kind of chilling with like a new fun person that you haven't seen in a while, who apparently snores. Amina and very loudly. Amina and Harmony had a really nice heart-to-heart about loyalty and trust and whether or not they were all going to die. We finally made it to the lawmaster after being stopped by a parade of like super important military people, and that was, I mean, it was kind of annoying, like for me, because important military people means very little to Amina, but they're super important military people because they're celebrating a super important military day. Let's see. But yeah, we did in fact make it to the lawmaster's office. And we were told about a disappeared daughter of the Lord Governor. Her name is Lady Jane. How do you say that? Dabov? Badav. She has gone missing along with a bunch of other people, and they think it is potentially one of the cults that have popped up recently that has taken her in, messed with her head as cults do, to go, we were charged with going to go find her. We also have decided that we need to kind of deal with what's going on with the merfolk, because that could get potentially messy if not dealt with soon. There are a lot of persons of interest in the missing lady's disappearance. I have a lot of names here. She was running away from an arranged marriage. She's got some fun new partners, and we are on our way to a fun bathhouse to try to go find her, because that is one of her more recent hangouts. That is the Seaside Bathhouse. And then we stopped and grabbed a snack because snacks are important before you do an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I bought lunch for everybody.
Yeah.
Which is very sweet.
I also just put all the other stuff summed up in the Heavensfire chat, so you can go and find it there as well. And thank you, Garnet. So you can go ahead and give yourself DM inspiration, or if you already have it, you can give yourself a luck point, or you can give DM inspiration to somebody else. I love the surprised face on the VTuber. Very cool. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course. And here we are at the, I want to keep wanting to say the lush water, the bathhouse for the bathhouse blues. And you, in following up with these leads, also had heard a rumor from the lawmaster, or sort of some intel from the lawmaster, that one of Lady Badab's partners works at the bathhouse. Her name is Carmilla. There is also a friend and sort of a casual second partner here as well. They both work at the bathhouse. The other one is Jaren. She had sort of been less involved with Jaren lately and more involved with Carmilla, but she is currently, according to the lawmaster, dating both of them, and also a third individual as well who works at the BB, at the Blueberry Brothel. So she's got a little polycule going on. Polycule situation.
Good for her.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of a big polycule for people, but some of them are parallel, some of them are, together. But these are two of the leads, and you have found yourself here at the Seaside Bathhouse. Map was taken from Reddit. It is, I believe, a free map on Patreon from Midgardia. So go and check out Midgardia. This is the full color version of the Dungeon of the Dead 3 from the module Descent into Avernus, which has been repurposed in full color and has been repurposed with name changes and some lore changes here for our Heavensfire stream. Also currently using Roll20 and listening to a couple of partner artists that we will link in the chat. We get some ASKII, and we also got some tabletop RPG music coming up a little bit later in the stream. And of course we're on Roll20. So you have approached the bathhouse, and you can see sort of a very beautiful courtyard. There's block text for this too. Aha!
Ooh.
Since we're using, sort of a modified Wizard of the Coast product. I really like this dungeon, this map.
I have also started things off nice and strong with a tarot card.
Well, the L-shaped courtyard features a trimmed lawn and very nicely manicured shrubbery. Oh, the yard is decorated with white marble benches and beautiful stone fountains, each in the form of a smiling nymph tipping a jug that spills water into a circular stone basin. You can hear sort of the various comings and goings of people inside the bathhouse. You can see steam coming out of the main doors, which are open. First tarot card pulled, put that in the queue. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
What do?
Well, shall we go and ask if Camilla is around?
Do we start with that, or do we pretend to be customers?
I imagine if she's hiding, we can't just ask for her. Like, It would kind of defeat the purpose of hiding.
Is Camilla hiding? I don't have my notes, so please remind me.
Not to anyone's knowledge in particular.
Her location has been unknown for 36 hours, right?
That's Jane. We don't know where Jane's been missing for 36 hours.
Right. I completely forgot to actually pay attention to names.
Oh no, don't
Might
die.
be an important detail. Maybe.
Please disregard everything I've said.
That's okay. Totally fine. Here we
I
are
wonder
now.
if maybe we don't want to scare her off, because like she doesn't know us, so why would we be looking for her if not to attempt to trick her or intimidate her into giving us information? If she works here, then maybe we should just enjoy the bathhouse and wait to see if she pops up.
Well, what do we know about her? Like, do we know what she does here? Do we know what she looks like? Anything like that?
She is a masseuse here at the bathhouse.
Let's get
If we all
massages.
get massages, one of us is going to run into her.
I keep thinking about that Markiplier video.
Where his mom is trying to teach him how to massage.
No, the Korean massage where he's in Korea and he gets a massage and he's I put it in the meme lab. It's I think the original the title was "And Then He Flipped Me Over." And it was it's a pretty good video.
I love him.
I'll relink it.
Yeah.
But yes, here we are. The two main double doors kind of creak open, and you can see an elvish woman, sort of light blonde hair tied up in a ponytail, kind of walk out in sort of very loose, form-fitting, like almost like a toga. Sort of, it has like it's white with sort of red trim, sort of sandals, and she comes out looking very refreshed. You can see she's very muscular, and she has sort of scars all over her body, probably military. And she just kind of very relaxed comes over and just kind of sits kind of cross-legged on the bench here. And the courtyard is very serene, and you can, even though the city itself sort of isn't the best smelling city, being a port city and sort of seawater and sort of local sewage drains, this particular area is sort of, it is like an oasis away from everything else, where you can kind of, it's very like, you know, going to an outdoor spa in New York City. Same idea.
I'm personally totally okay if we go and get massages as an excuse to continue our work.
Of course, simply as an excuse.
Send the bill to Darius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is there a bill for 4 deluxe spa packages?
I mean,
We were investigating a missing girl.
can we comp them? I mean, we are on an official assignment here.
Yeah,
Can
probably.
I? Oh, nice. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Harmony will lead the way forward since she's at the front.
Okay. Well, this is very interesting for the first tarot card. How do I want to play this?
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah, also kind of following right behind the other sort of elvish woman with all the scars, there is a second woman who sort of comes out of the bathhouse, sort of the same sort of, you get the sense like these are sort of like, you know, outdoor relaxing sort of attire for the bathhouse. So that same kind of sort of white toga with sort of the red trim. Another woman about maybe seems to be a human, maybe 6'2", sort of vibrant red hair, sort of comes out of the bathhouse as well. She has a belt that has some sort of runes on the side of it, and she kind of seems a little bit out of place here. But she kind of walks out and kind of stops dead in her tracks and kind of looks over at y'all, and she seems very warm, like she's kind of wiping some sweat from her brow, and it's springtime. It's like mid-spring, but it's definitely not hot. But she seems like very, very warm. She just kind of, is just kind of, and stops and sees all of you, and kind of just sizes you all up, and then kind of looks directly at Harmony, kind of narrows her eyes a little bit, and kind of just maintaining eye contact, breaking it briefly to acknowledge seemingly her friend here sitting down, and they just kind of share quick pleasantries, and she sits down on the bench beside her and then kind of looks back over to Harmony.
Does Harmony...
I'm just gonna go ahead and take this 2 of adversaries that was inverse and just kind of put it back in the deck, upright this time.
Does Harmony recognize this individual? Has never seen this individual?
No, you do not. Never seen this person before.
Are you wearing your like normal regalia?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She is, because we just came from the Law Masters, so she's got all the medals and the little jingly janglies.
The medals, damn.
Bells and whistles, the accoutrement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the accoutrement. I love that word so much.
It's a fun word.
One of these days, you and Essie are gonna have to sit down and figure out exactly which commendations Harmony has earned.
All of them.
Yes.
I get to decide, and it's all of them. Harmony will continue walking forward, kind of gazing curiously at this person who's narrowing her eyes.
One of them is...
Since I'm right behind her, do I see this? Do I see this weird look happen?
You all see it. She's actually still making eye contact with Harmony. And also, Harmony, you have a swordsmanship medal. You have a athletics championship medal. You also have a good conduct medal. You have a junior officer's medal. You have a junior officer's war games medal. And you have a family service medal.
Nice. What is the signifier of her rank as a sergeant? Is there something on her regalia that signifies her rank? Or is it a badge?
Yes, so that would be the symbol of Voskritoria. It is the two-headed eagle with two crossing swords behind it, and a third in the center. So 3 ranks, 3 swords. And then beyond sergeant, beyond that, you would be an officer. So this is sort of like junior officer. So 2-headed eagle, 3 swords. Do you need me to? Did you get all those medals, by the way, Harmony?
Yeah, I'm just writing them down.
Does that? I feel like that makes the most sense. And if there's any you want to add, you can always sort of reach out to me and we can work up some more. But those were the ones that came to my head that would make the most sense for someone in your position, given your backstory. And if you want to add more, we can always add more.
Most luscious hair medal.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those 2
medal.
Oh, for sure.
You may have those 2, but they are not official medals. They are
macaroni art. One of them is macaroni art.
They're spirit medals, right?
Littered in between her official medals is like self-proclaimed like pageant medals. Best fashion.
Outstanding.
You are traveling with a glamour bar.
Yeah,
Just wait until I get stronger. I'll actually be able to make those real.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
I can also make you some very good medals.
Yeah.
You want a medal that shoots lasers? Give me a couple weeks.
Yes, please.
Yours is going to be violent and weapony. Mine are going to be... These are proof that she definitely was the prettiest person in her regime.
You're gonna have like the whole coat that is like just completely covered in medals.
Yes.
Most of them just sort of flair and fancy titles.
Oh, for sure.
Until you earn the legit ones through this very campaign, and then you can be like, you know, then at the end of the campaign, you're like, let me tell you about medals, kid. You don't want them.
Oh my god.
That's how it goes.
With every one you get, you want 2 more. They'll never bring you happiness.
Oh my
Those
god.
medals won't keep you warm on the long winter nights, kid.
And then you got the solid snake. Oh, all the heroes I know were dead.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Bathhouse.
Harmony is making her way forward, hopefully with the group behind her.
Yeah, I'm there. Just clocking these
I'm just gonna
not so nice ladies.
I'm gonna move your frame up a little bit, Garnet. Zoom. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, she's still staring. And now the other woman is too.
Can Harmony insight check this? Is this you accidentally, like, I don't know, trampled my peonies and
Oh,
now I
yeah.
hate you forever? Or like, is this you've salted the soils of my field? Like, how deep is this? Like,
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and make an insight check. And this is from a tarot card, so this is stuff coming early that I'm excited to. They're marigolds. That's funny.
okay, that was not great. That was a 3.
3. No, it's a little disconcerting, and yes, the rest of y'all all see this as well. Like, it's a little strange, and maybe you're like, oh, maybe Harmony knows this person, but it's not like an evil look. It's just like a stare.
Harmony will just kind of turn to look at the group and be like, I'm not entirely sure if these people are a fan of me. Just be prepared for that. Okay?
Did you do something to him, or?
I've done a lot of things to a lot of people. You'll have to be more specific.
These ones specifically, did you do anything to?
Are you all like with it, like saying this out loud with him right there? Because that would be
Yeah, I
amazing.
guess.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just-
basically
I think
whispering.
Amina is.
Yeah.
She's trying to whisper, but then she realizes this place has really good acoustics, so there is no whispering.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Outstanding.
Because, like, why are you staring so hard at my friend? Like, what did she do?
I have no
Did
idea.
she
who
steal your
these people are.
boyfriend?
Oh my gosh. I probably might have done something like that.
Do you ask that in character?
Absolutely.
Okay. She just kind of slowly looks over and just... Boyfriend? No.
Did you steal your girlfriend? Is this your
Not
girlfriend?
yet.
She's very pretty.
The elvish woman kind of blushes and she says, "Not yet." The woman with the red hair says, "Not yet." The elvish woman just kind of, well, we just met, and hitting it off, pretty well, but it's a strong
Wonderful
implication
place
to
to-
just ask of strangers. That's the elvish woman.
Well, I mean, you're looking really hard at my friend, and it's, I thought maybe you wanted to talk.
No, not yet. Nothing to say yet. Not for me to say.
Not for you to say.
Not
did
for
love
me
him
to
in
say.
Secret.
Harmony's now staring at these two individuals. Like, curiosity, but also like, what the fuck did I do to them? Trying to go through her
Wow.
memories and be like, did I accidentally sleep with someone's boyfriend or girlfriend?
Well, I hope whatever it is that is so bothersome about my friend, you were able to forgive her.
Forgiveness will not come from me.
Oh, it's one of those. I
Well-
see. I have a few of those myself. Very recently, in fact.
It is not mine to give, but we shall see when the time comes.
Well, I don't like to be rude. And you're right, I am a stranger, and that was very presumptuous. My name's Amina.
kind of stands up and takes a
Because
step.
Amina's so short, she's gonna look up like, yay, new friend.
While all of this is happening, DM, I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Sure.
So Willow sort of pulls out, or she pulls her goggles down on her face because they usually sit like on her forehead. She pulls those down and sort of like turns one on her right eye, one of the lenses, and the sort of iris partially closes to focus her vision a bit more. And she just starts scanning to see if there are any things that stick out. For the next 10 minutes, just sort of studying our surroundings and examining for magic.
Okay. All right. So you kind of tap into that world between worlds as you kind of scan the area around you. As you can hear Willow's goggles kind of adjusting. You're not seeing anything initially as you're having this discussion with Amina and the other mysterious woman here kind of are moving closer to introduce themselves formally. Willow, you do not sense anything magical within 30 feet, right, as the range?
It might be 60. Give me a second.
Still also at the tail end of a cold, so it might be a little sniffly.
You're right. 30 feet.
Yep, nothing magical within 30 feet. So,
Are these walls made of stone?
these walls do appear to be made of polished stone, and the benches and fountains seem to be made of polished marble, expensive polished marble.
Okay, so
Maybe.
you would
Spared no expense.
Would you say these walls are about a foot thick?
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
About that.
because the detect magic will penetrate barriers, but not certain ones, and 1 foot of stone is a barrier that can block it. So I was just double checking. Sorry.
Nope, not picking up anything magical from, at least not from the courtyard.
Okay. I'll move her on the map in a second, but Willow sort of squeezes around everyone and just sort of starts peering through the door just to get a sense of people and stuff.
Sure. Okay. All right. As you kind of saunter by, the large woman with red hair kind of walks up to Key and then over to Amina. So Key, you're kind of like in between Amina and this woman. Do you kind of also introduce yourself, or do you just kind of take stock and observe kind of what's happening?
Oh, absolutely, just taking stock and observing.
Okay. She kind of turns directly towards you, kind of looks you in the eyes for like 5 uncomfortable seconds, waits for you to say something, and with you not saying anything, turns to Amina and holds out a hand to Amina, but like heartily.
Okay,
Very
she
eager.
definitely takes it.
She
You have
actually,
to excuse my friend. She's practically mute.
as you go to like take the hand, she goes a little, it does the forearm shake.
Ooh, fun new handshake.
And she says, Freydis.
Freydis. And now we're not strangers anymore. I hope that maybe we can be friends as well.
No, we are not. Perhaps we can be friends. That remains to be seen.
Well, this is our first time in this bathhouse. Would you happen to know where someone is who works here? We were hoping to get massages.
I am not from here. I am from the north. The true north.
Oh. I'm not sure where that is.
So
I like your accent, though.
you can see that she has tattoos that sort of are sort of intertwining serpentine patterns on one arm, and on the left there's like a large string of runes that kind of go all the way up from her wrist up to above her elbow, sort of on the interior of her arm, and up to her bicep. And there are other images of sort of like there's sort of like a constellation in the form of it's a recognizable constellation. It looks familiar, and sort of a starscape and that's on the same side as as the runes on the other side. And then there are these sort of intertwining serpentine patterns on the right arm. And you recognize the shapes and patterns as Aldaran. You 100% specifically know that Freydis is likely a member of the Aldaran tribe to the north, just at the border of your home. And you've likely had contact with many of the Aldaran traders. So she is...
I do know where you're from.
Yes.
You've probably run into my brother.
It's possible.
He's a ranger.
You are of the Four Houses of Eladris, yes?
Mm-hmm.
We are familiar with the elves of the Four Seasons of Houses. It is good to see
he's
someone
in a weird
from...
broody stage.
A weird...
He's just
Broodies.
stuck in winter. He refuses to change.
Winter is quite nice. I quite admire all of the elves of the Four Houses, but in the Aldaran territory it is very cold, as you know, so we have much respect for the Winter Houses. But with the Houses of Eladris, the Winter Elves do not see, as you said, much happiness. Lots of moping.
Yeah. He's dealing with a bad breakup. It's fine. He'll get over it.
It is interesting how your houses shift, sometimes over years, with the seasons. I am fascinated by this.
It's with my family specifically, we shift with our emotions. And sometimes it's a rapid change, and sometimes it can last years. I've been in spring for a couple of decades now.
Just as well, spring is a wonderful season. It is
Thank
very
you.
short in the north. But
It is, and I think that's why I like it so much and why I choose to stay in this form, just because it is so short up there.
Darius
Short
gonna make her
and
go
fleeting.
winter so fast.
yeah, right? Well, it is good to see that there are people from home so far away from home.
I wanted to get out and see the world and bring a little bit of joy to everywhere else.
As did I.
I like you very much. I think we should definitely continue chatting.
I like you very much.
But in the meantime, we need to go find a massage because we've had a very long journey and not very good sleep. So I would like to get some of these kinks worked out from several boat rides.
It's good enough. There's better massage than Aldaran Smokehouse.
Ooh,
Sweat
I will
house.
remember that.
But is good enough. And she kind of looks over at Harmony and just kind of smiles and knowingly, and then kind of at Key and Amina and at Willow, and this has turned out to be a very interesting day.
Yes, it has. I won't keep you.
Is-
Enjoy the rest of your time.
This is okay. We will certainly meet again. And you introduced yourself officially?
Mhm.
We will meet again soon, Amina. I'm
I
counting on
hope
it.
so. Such a friendly
Humming.
thing almost sounds like a threat.
Harmony's staring at this individual.
She just kind of sits back down and puts an arm up over the back of the bench, kind of like wide stance sitting, right? Kind of just looking over at y'all, and just goes back to looking at Harmony.
So Amina's going to just link Harmony's arm and sort of drag her away. He's like-
Harmony's like, it's
Ooh.
getting to her. It's
Rose
definitely
quartz.
getting to her.
Convenient rose quartz, by the way, from that situation. So that is all right. So I'm gonna say that makes sense. It can be DM's choice. So I'm gonna say Amina. I'm gonna take that rose quartz from Ghost Rock and give you advantage on the next charisma check. And then the next time we roll for an advantage, it will be Avalon, Rory, and Renee that roll for the next
Thank
benefit.
you.
I'm going to go ahead and select Amina for that. Okay. Very cool.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, Harmony, this is very kind of like just goes right back to staring at you.
Yeah, it's beginning to frustrate Harmony because Harmony's like, I don't like how coy you're being, and I don't like the fact that you know more than I know.
Yeah. Of course.
Which is why I'm dragging her away.
Harmony's like, are we gonna fight?
Are we gonna fight or what?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Nope.
Gonna
I
fight? Are we
just-
gonna kiss? Like,
I
what?
just made friends. We're leaving.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
take her away. Take her away. I beg of you.
This whole time, Willow has not paid any attention to the conversation, and has been like, just looking through the door. I feel like she probably opened it partially, not wanting to leave the group behind, but just enough that she could see in and see if there's any magic that's leaping out.
Okay. And is your detect magic persistent?
Up to 10 minutes. So that's why I said it was happening during that conversation, because
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That might be a good question. Let me double check just to make sure. There is a faint bit of magic that sort of pervades. It's very faint. It is conjuration, and you know exactly what it is, as you can hear this sort of serene music that you're hearing now playing inside the bathhouse. So there is sort of almost like the same level as prestidigitation, very light, but it seems to be an enchantment of conjuration that is quite simple. But other than that, let's see. I want to double check on this particular part of the room. Nope. Nothing magical in the actual bathhouse other than sort of the enchantment. There's also a secondary sort of layer that also makes the bathhouse smell particularly nice, right? So there's a couple of sort of very aesthetic magics at work. But other than that,
that's
nothing.
pretty much. Okay, cool. That's pretty much what I, as a player, expected. But sometimes people wear illusory disguises or whatever, so it was just sort of getting a vibe check on the room.
Yeah, no, everyone, the vibe check on the room is pretty standard. And you can swing open the doors and go ahead and remove the double doors here so you can see on into the bathhouse. All right. The walls of this 20-foot-high pillared interior bathhouse chamber are adorned with frescoes of bathing elvish nobility and royalty. Natural light streams through a magnificent set of stained glass windows depicting ancient scenes of warriors victorious upon the field of battle, creating colorful patterns on the tiles of brightly polished blue marble that cover the floor. Once again, no expense seems to have been spared. 3 shallow sunken pools containing scintillating perfume-scented steamy water adorn the 3 north, south, and western positions of the bathhouse. White marble benches bearing stacks of dry towels are situated near these pools, each of which comes equipped with a pair of polished brass faucets. It's quite nice.
Harmony just takes a few breaths. Just being like, ignore her. Ignore the lady that's staring at you still. Ignore it.
There is an individual who emerges, kind of opens the southern door to a closed, sort of what seems to be a massage chamber, a massage room, and it seems to have just wrapped up cleaning. The individual has sort of very nice, freshly cleaned clothes, very slick, well-kept hair, very very handsome man, probably mid-30s, mid to late 30s, a beard, well kept, sort of it's trimmed. It's just sort of the goatee, right, and a little bit down here by the chin, and has that hair. You kind of like runs his fingers through his hair to fix it every once in a while, and sort of a brilliant purple silk vest that adorns over his otherwise fine common clothing. And he sort of stands straight, and I think, oh yeah, I did. Okay, I hit repeat. Good. Stands straight at attention and just, welcome to the Seaside Bath. I am Jaren. I am the proprietor here today. If there's anything I can do for you as far as getting you situated, it is 5 copper just for access to the bathhouse for an hour. 2 silver will get you unlimited time in the bathhouse. And a deluxe package is 1 gold. It includes 24-hour access, a massage, access to bottle service of house wine, etc., etc. Steam towels, the whole sort of things.
Willow looks back toward Harmony. So, is this an expense for the Lawmaster, or are we paying for this out of our pocket?
Would this be something? I double checking with DM. Would this be something that Harmony could?
We're on assignment for him.
I know.
It would probably raise some eyebrows if you were to like just spend all your money on the deluxe package, but it's up to y'all. I mean, you could probably hand wave it away somehow. Be like, oh, we were undercover.
We don't know where she is. We don't
So-
know even if she's working today. We're gonna need some time, and it's
We
4
need the
gold. The
unlimited
crown has
access.
it.
An hour is just not enough. Yeah. I believe we can probably have this covered by the Lawmaster. And she'll look towards Jared.
Jaren.
Jaren. Okay, I will fix that.
Jeryn, and he says, "The Lawmaster. What brings servants of the law to the bathhouse, other than rest and relaxation? No one here is in any trouble, are they?"
No, heavens no, of course not. We're just here to take a break. He wanted to treat us for a previous mission that had gone astoundingly well.
Very well. Very well. And he kind of looks over at Harmony, and then kind of looks over at the northern door, and then back at Harmony, and just... There's 2 of us on today, so if you require any... If you wish to divide up yourselves for the deluxe package, we would certainly be able to accommodate. And in the meantime, it looks as if we're a little full, and you can see sort of an older gentleman just, no, I'm getting out. I'm done for the day. Y'all can hop on in. Just kind of hops on out and grabs a towel and let's get in his things.
I kind of love him. He seems fun.
Yeah. Should invite him to the party.
You can see
Come adventure with us.
He's got like a flask that he kind of like just kind of unscrews and kind of looks a little bit and kind of screws it back on. No, I've got things to do down by the docks. Have to make things tidy. We've gotten a little bit of overtime with everyone kind of leaving us high and dry to go on pilgrimage to the giant ship that fell from the sky. So we gotta work double time, but we're making a little bit extra money, which is why I can afford to go to the bathhouse a little more often than once a week or every other week. It's quite nice, but keeping things here on lockdown in Lots of work to be done, especially at a thriving dock like this when you got so many ships and pilgrims coming in and out there.
Everyone deserves a break once in a while.
Well, not these old hands. Maybe someday. There was never much for spirituality myself, but whatever that is, well, it's interesting. I'll give y'all that. But too interesting for me, if you know what I mean. I'm a simple man, and if it's the gods, and we live in interesting times.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I know.
Well, and he kind of just gathers the rest of his things and kind of just gets dressed pretty quickly, and no use sticking around here. Well, enjoy the bath. Have it to yourselves now, and good day to y'all. Kind of puts a pipe in his mouth and starts packing some tobacco in there, and just kind of stands by the doorway for another few minutes, kind of packing some tobacco into his pipe.
Well, do we still have to split up for the massages? I'm assuming so.
Yes, there's 2 massage rooms, and of course there appears now to be one free bath, pardon me, and kind of comes over and does a procedure here and takes like a pouch of seemingly sort of a pouch of herbs and salts, and kind of as he's talking and working at the same time, just kind of dumps the pouch and a pattern in the pool. And he says, sort of like a cleanse, an alchemical cleanse for the pool after use, for the bath after use.
Well, if we need to split up in pairs, me and Harmony could go one way, and you two go the other.
I think that sounds good. Any objections?
Works for me.
He just
Sounds good.
let me go get Carmilla. Kind of makes his way up to the north door. Kind of knocks on the door and says, "Carmilla, we have guests." You'll be submitting payment up front.
Payment will be sent here by the Lawmaster.
I'm afraid we have to take payments up front.
Damn it. Okay. It's fine.
If
Did Harmony say that out loud?
No, that's Renee. I have the coinage, so it's okay.
Very good.
Harmony will give 4 gold, because there's 4 of us. Is Keys weird bird also getting spa treatment? I feel like
Peculiar bird.
peculiar bird, yes.
I feel that. I
should
feel like that's up to
totally-
him, you know?
He should totally get a massage.
Strange bird, would you
Yeah.
like some spa treatment?
I
Can't believe
mainly
I'm asking
want
this.
the visual of someone giving a pseudo dragon a massage. Just like digging into its little wing
Yeah.
joints with like one finger and
Perched on the fountain just outside is that sort of very large blue and red parrot that Key sees as the fairy dragon. No, thank you. I will just perch atop the fountain and bask in whatever is happening here.
He says he's good.
All right. And Amina, did you bring Khadijah? I'm trying to remember all the pets in this party.
She's hiding in my hair. She'll be fine.
Good. Then Harmony will hand over 4 gold.
A very,
Thank-
very large weasel, right?
She's a mink.
Mink. Okay. So someone
has the
has a.
weasel.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Rin has a weasel over in the other game.
Okay.
His
So
name is
same
Merlin.
family, but much
Wow.
prettier.
Okay. A
Thank you.
mink. Right. Because otherwise they would tell you that there is a no pets policy on the bathhouse if Khadijah
No.
is sort of like being very obvious.
Oh no, she's hiding.
Okay.
Big,
cool.
big hair.
Okay. Yeah.
hiding in hair.
Perfect.
Big hair has all the secrets.
Yes. All right.
Thank you for paying Harmony.
That's no problem.
Very well. 4 gold. I will take that up front. I will log it. And what name should I put today's reservation under?
All right, we still need one of those.
It could just be a single person, or it's
I
usually a
guess-
single person.
I mean, you paid for it, Harmony. Should probably be under your name, right?
Yes, you can put it under Harmony Knives.
Very well. Party of 4 for the bathhouse. Deluxe package times 4. 24-hour access. It is. Oh, geez, what time is it? It's probably. It's. I think probably. I think we said it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
That sounds right, because we got delayed a bunch
Yeah.
by the parade.
Parades and all kinds of other stuff. So
I have a delay. I have an ironic, kind of silly name suggestion that just popped into my head.
Ooh.
Nice guys.
nice guys.
As in the none of us are guys, but
Knives guys.
you
yeah.
are unofficially the leader of the group on account of you giving us all the jobs. So
Very well.
Oh my
Harmony and the Knives guys.
Oh my god.
that wasn't suggested out loud.
okay, that's fine. Okay, under Harmony at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 deluxe bathhouse packages, and I will take the first. And you see the doors open, and a very lovely young woman, sort of slightly tanned skin, comes out, sort of brunette hair, very beautiful, and has sort of like a burgundy sort of free-flowing dress that has sort of like a strap, sort of an angled strap that has one shoulder bare and then one other part around the waist bare, and then comes down to, has 2 slits on either side, and sort of bangles, silver bangles that intertwine all the way up both arms, and these sort of beautiful patterns, and a couple of sort of very fancy silver bracelets. Comes out and kind of looks at all of y'all and just, very well. I'll take the first. Jaren, whomever you would like to take.
Harmony will nudge Amina towards who she is presuming is Camilla. You seem to do better with people than I do, so.
Mina.
I think it's sort of a honey versus vinegar sort of situation. She's good at, she falls easily into the sweet talking, and you've got a very commanding presence.
No, Amina's just gonna go with her. She seems like she's ready to go to work, and Amina hasn't had a massage in like 20 years, so you know.
All right, fair enough. All right, so Amina with Carmilla, and who's going with Jaren?
Willow and Harmony were sticking together, and then Key and Amina are going the other way? Because you said we had to split off into 2s. Yeah?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, plenty of time for intel gathering.
Mm. Well, I suppose Harmony could go first.
Open
Sure.
the doors here.
Harmony's ready to get this massage. Just
It may have in-game benefits as well.
Ooh.
Who knows? Okay, all right. So whoever's going where, go ahead and you can position yourselves in these very plain massage rooms for the full spa treatment.
While waiting her turn, Willow hops into the bath. Is there like a locker room or whatever is appropriate for this to change, or does it just public
It's
throw off stuff?
public. It's
Okay.
old school
yeah,
in the
no,
open. So
Willow kind of stops in front of the bench for a second and just runs her hand down along down like the center of the breastplate of her armor, and the scales like separate, and she steps out of it, and it just sort of falls backward, and the armor sits upright in the bench just by itself, and then she just gets out of her under armor suit and hops in the bath.
Very like Tony Stark Iron Man, right? I think is how you described it before. Sort of.
Kinda, yeah. She's wearing the hummingbird armor today, which is a lot of like small
very cool.
interlocking scales and this like gentle electric hum that stops them from rattling together, which is why it's a little bit better at stealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the salts, the bath salts, and the herbs, and the accoutrement, it is immediately relaxing. Like stepping into a hot tub or a hot bath with all of the lavenders and oils and everything. It's just that immediate sense of relief, like, as all your troubles melt away, right? We love bathhouse episodes. And before, as you kind of settle in, there is a bucket of ice and a bottle of red and a bottle of white wine, house wine, kind of like essentially the equivalent of barefoot, right? That's brought over, as well as 4 glasses, 4 wine glasses. Pretty cheap standard wine glass. A couple of fingerprints, right? Nothing too. It's as fancy as you could possibly expect.
Willow settles in with a glass of white and just waits for
Okay.
her turn at the massage.
Okay. Key. The southern massage room contains a massage table draped in clean, fresh towels, bottles of vibrant floral-smelling perfume under the table, as well as extra bags of the salt and herbs that are used to cleanse the baths that you had seen before. Natural light enters through a stained glass window set in the south wall, depicting an image of the goddess Fravinia, tending to sort of standing waist up in sort of a waterfall scape, sort of arm outstretched towards the person in the room, right? This serene stained glass depiction of Ravinia, the Wild Mother.
I can't see Key's token at all.
Oh, the key is there in the
Lost.
corner here.
Okay, I can't see.
I think the lighting.
Oh, okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Roll20 just like whole ass crashed for me for a second.
It did.
All right, what's your dark vision?
120 feet.
Okay. Can everybody see? No?
I can now, yeah.
Let me refresh.
Oh, no, you can't. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought y'all had vision.
I did, and then Roll20 had a little moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Key and stuff as well. Is just
How much dark vision does Harmony have?
NPC.
60 feet.
Okay. Okay. And, let's see if you have... Yep, okay. Everybody should be good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know y'all were, moving around, so this is... Okay. So this is what I just described. That is the southern massage room.
Ooh.
The...
Huh.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. That was by accident.
Okay. And the northern massage room is essentially identical. There is a different stained glass depicting the image of Isindra as a matron. She is seen in sort of flowing white and gold robes in the stained glass, arms outstretched in sort of a fiery wreath behind her, as well as a vibrant glowing sun above her head, sort of flowing brunette hair, sort of raven hair, with sort of gold highlights in this particular depiction of Isindra. Kind of both arms outstretched in front of this sort of fiery wreath, and also the sun above her in the stained glass. Amina, this is the room that you are in.
Very pretty in here.
Yes, this is my favorite room. This is Isindra's room. The south is Fravinia's room, and this is my personal favorite place to work.
What's that smell? It's soft and familiar.
She kind of looks nervous just for a second, and then just... Oh, the oils. Right. It is lavender. There's also lilac and gooseberry, because Witcher reference. Lavender, lilac, gooseberry. And there are also a bit of elderberry as well. Elderberry is one of my personal favorites.
I think that's what I'm smelling.
Likely.
How would you like to begin?
Standard massage. We usually do, it takes about 45 minutes, and just make yourself comfortable, and I'll get to work. I'm very skilled at what I do.
Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Carmilla.
That's very pretty.
Would you like to share yours?
I'm Amina.
Amina, a pleasure.
She's just gonna climb. Should I disrobe or just
Whatever you feel
climb up on the
comfortable with.
table?
Whatever you feel most comfortable with.
So yeah, she's just gonna climb up on the table. Like
Okay.
her leathers aren't like super restricting, so
There are like sort of those white sort of togas that they have. That's a more like so if you still have armor on, she's going to be like, you probably want to at least put on one of the, one of the robes, the bathhouse robes, just to... The leather and armor would be
you're
detriment.
probably right.
I can leave if you like. Give you some privacy.
You're fine. When you live around as many siblings as I have, nudity is not really something that bothers you.
I am here at your pleasure. And basically
Whatever makes you comfortable. And then she's just gonna disrobe and fold her clothes really neatly.
Yeah, she kind of puts her head down and kind of waits for you to do your thing. And
she'll grab the toga and then be really confused for a second and then put it on.
She's like,
and then she'll climb back up on the table.
Let me help you with it. You have to kind of this way and there you go.
Yep, and then she's just gonna kind of put her arms up and let her do her thing.
Super professional, right? It's like you're all pretty comfortable. Like they've been doing this for a long time. They're professionals. They they see this stuff every day. She's probably answered that question like 100 times in the past month.
Yes.
Kind of like protocol, but same thing for anybody. There's sort of robes, like essentially those sort of cloth togas. They're kind of comfortable. They've been washed, multiple times, so they're a little not as soft as they could have been, but they're still pretty soft. They seem to. But and then the everything smells wonderful. All right, so in the southern room, who is it? Harmony or Key? Getting a massage in the southern room.
I have no idea. Whatever works for me, or
okay.
like whichever one. I can't like click and move my token.
No.
Roll20's having some issues
try
with
this.
me.
You might have to replace your token. See if you can move that one. And if you can't, go ahead and drag and drop a new token onto the map. If that doesn't work. Oh, you good? Was that you?
Yeah, I'm having some issues, I think, my computer.
Is it? I saw the token move. Was that you or was that something else?
Attempting to move it. That's me attempting to move it. It's not
Okay.
working. Just Stick me with Willow.
Okay.
Just
All right. I'll put you over there for now. Well, the good news is that the token moved, so that's the good news.
Nice.
Just make sure you have vision. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing vision. So I can see your token moving up and down. So that's the good news. All right. Both of you have like a 45-minute massage session. So anything you want to ask during that massage, you can feel free to do so. This is your time.
I think
to
Amina is just gonna,
investigate.
just try to be, amicable. And, like she, you're getting a massage. You're just usually
Yeah.
supposed to be chill, but it's like. So you said that you've been doing this for a while. How long have you been here?
I have been working at the bathhouse for the better part of 5 years now.
Hmm.
Makes more sense to do the angled tokens. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yes, better part of 5 years.
Lovely. And did you have to do training for that? Like specifically here, or did you do training elsewhere?
Well, it's considered a skilled trade. Anyone can learn it from a master, and it's about 6 months to a year to train to be a masseuse while you work at the bathhouse. The owner and proprietor of the bathhouse, hang on, I wrote this down. Lady Devereaux taught us all, taught myself and Jaren, as well as the other 3 of us that work here regularly, how to properly be welcoming and professional, courteous, and also how to get the knots out of the muscles and really work the deep tissue. When you
I'm
are
sure
stressed, the muscles tend to clump up, and if you work too hard without stretching or don't drink enough water, they can cramp up and get all quite literally knotted in around themselves. And it's the magic of sort of unraveling the knots. It can cause headaches, migraines, mimic other symptoms of illness, and working out these twists and knots is an art form in and of itself. So it takes 6 months to a year to learn, but a lifetime to perfect.
Well, I am in your very capable hands. I'm going to the Lindell Academy myself very soon to train as a bard. So shoulders, arms, and hands are very important. So any tension that may be in there and in the neck area, I would be very grateful for you to help me remove.
The Lindale Academy?
Mm-hmm.
That's very impressive.
Thank you.
You must have some very impressive recommendations.
Not yet. But
merit alone, then. Impressive.
well, my sister goes there, and she was promising to kind of put in a good word for me.
Understood.
But
family
yes,
scholarships, that sort of thing. Very good.
Kind of. It's a little difficult. She was adopted, so no one really knows we're related.
Oh, right.
So,
well,
but
it's an
also merit.
achievement, nonetheless.
Thank you. I want to bring beauty everywhere I go, and that's the best place to learn how to do that.
So I've heard.
Especially now with everything that's happening, we need more beauty.
That is true. Well, whatever fell from the sky is... well, it's covered in gold and jewels. So that's quite beauteous in and of itself, but I think you're right, and you're likely speaking metaphorically?
Yes.
I agree with you on that. It is. The world has become an interesting place, and we must do our best to make the best of it with what we have to work with. That's all any of us can really do at the end of the day.
Oh. Hopefully you can find your own form of beauty.
I'd like to think I've already found it.
Oh, that's lovely. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I realize you're working, and forgive me for prying, but
Oh, no,
is
of
it
course.
is it a someone or a something or a concept?
I would say a little bit of all of the above.
That's so wonderful. I'm so interested in the ideas of concepts and what they mean to other people.
Yes, it can certainly be an interesting facet of conversation. Concepts and ideas, many that we may have thought to have been true, can be so easily replaced with new versions of the truth or newfound reality. There is much more to life than any of us have been given. There is much more to the world than what we are taught in the chapels and in the temples and great halls of education. There is more to life and existence and what happens after to our souls. She kind of looks up and what lies beyond the stars. How much power do the gods really have? How much power do we all have?
I don't really think it's about how much. I think it's about what we do with what we've got.
It's a very... Definitely heard that line of thinking before. But I'd like to think that there is so much more yet to be discovered. So much more to discover.
I understand that. I mean, that's why I'm going to school. I have abilities, and I have been told that I am gifted, but that can only take me so far. So I have to learn from those who have done more than me, gone farther than me, which is why I'm taking the roundabout journey to the academy instead of going straight there. I want to see the world first I was home, and now I'm here, and then I'll be somewhere else, and then at the academy. And I don't want to be just stuck having not seen places before I get there.
If only we all had more time.
I do admit my race gives me a little bit more of a privilege than others in terms of time.
But what if we all had that same opportunity? Or if even our elves had an opportunity to double, perhaps even triple, their already long-lived lives, perhaps indefinitely? How much would you be able to see? How much would you be able to learn in all that time? Perhaps we could even find a way to cheat death itself.
I don't know about cheating, but I do understand wanting to increase. My sister is not an Eladrin, so our lifespan is much shorter than ours. The idea of being able to gift her even 10 or 20 of my own years sounds implausible, but something that I desperately wish I could do. Just to spend more time with her.
What if you did? What if
If
you
I could?
had? Yes.
If there is some magic that you know of where I could voluntarily extend her life so that I might not have to bury her so soon. Tell me.
Kind of looks
Even if it
around.
is just a wish, tell me.
She kind of looks around the room and very kind of cautiously kind of leans in as she kind of gets to your shoulders. She says, "What do you know of the Black Sun?"
Oh, I am a foreigner here, so very little.
Surely you recall the great solar eclipse that happened a
Yes,
year ago?
of course.
With it came the herald and the promise of life everlasting, of freedom from the shackles of mortality. We follow the Queen of the Black Sun, and she offers us an alternate path. One that we might embrace to cheat death itself. There is a gathering of the faithful that happens here after dusk. If it sounds like something that interests you, I could certainly vouch for you.
I mean, it takes a second because dang, that sucks. So like she legitimately has been trying to find a way to like just extend her lifespan.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
but you know, she is like internally like having a whole moment. But then she replies, "That sounds amazing. I mean, even if yes, I would love to. Thank you."
I'm glad that we have found a kindred spirit. This makes me most happy. It is a family, a spiritual family, and the more individuals that we spread the word of the Queen of the Black Sun to, the more likely it is that those farther atop the pyramid will gain the privilege of the blessing of the Queen herself. I have seen her. She is magnificent, beauteous, undying, shimmering like 1,000 suns, like nothing you've ever seen before. And she kind of moves one of her bracelets and she kind of shows you on her right wrist the symbol of a black sun tattoo.
Oh.
It has sort of 3 runes in a language that you don't recognize, sort of written across it, only covering a small portion of her wrist. And she says, "If you see anyone bearing this mark, they are also kindred spirits."
Thank you.
My pleasure. I look forward to seeing you at some point later this evening.
As do I. And then yeah, she's just gonna enjoy her massage and try not to like actually start crying because she has no idea what to do now.
Okay.
She's like, I am supposed to be at work, but now there's this thing that I've been searching for like the past 10 years, and I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
Well, that symbol is the same symbol that was described as one of the two cults operating in the.
Yes. So like I said, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be working, and like
Yeah.
I totally found out a thing, but how do I balance the two?
Yeah.
So she's just gonna enjoy her massage and try to figure out how to tell everybody that she has to go here by herself.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go down to Harmony's room here. Also, well, in between, Key and Willow in the bath here. There's your friend here eventually ends up leaving. Okay, the old man with the pipe. But the two of y'all are enjoying an extremely relaxing sort of steam bath with bottle service and the oils, the essential oils and the herbs and everything. Let's check in with Key and Willow briefly to see what y'all are up to down there.
He is absolutely just sipping on a glass, just like that sort of like relaxed position with like one arm behind the head, like
Yep.
just vibing.
Very cool. Yeah, as I would probably be too. Bathhouse episodes make me
I
so
think-
jealous of the characters in the Bathhouse episode. I'm like, I want to go to there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. I think after a few minutes, and Willow did take off the arm as well. It's currently
Okay,
sitting in
yeah.
the lap of the armor. She after a few minutes, you know, she kind of like rubs the amputated stump and stuff in the bath, just getting out some of the tension and stuff. But after a few minutes, he speaks up to Key. How are you and your friends in the band doing with what happened with the boys last night? God, it was just last night, wasn't it?
Fiera is actually going to do some stuff about setting up some things for family and friends, I believe. There's a lot about.
Is there something we could do to help? Do they need coin or something?
I can definitely ask Fiera, but I'm not sure at what place we can be of help.
Right. Okay. Remind me, what was the name of the one that survived and was mind freaked by
Steven?
Darius?
Steven and Eric?
I know that was their names collectively, but I don't remember who was who.
I think Steven was the one that got mind fucked. You would have
One
to
of them
double
is
check
named
with.
Eric Steven, and the other one is named Steven Eric. They're the
exactly.
same. It's fine.
Easily confused and mixed around. Nikki knows.
Eric is the one who lived.
Okay.
Thank
Garnet
you
also
for
knows. Thank
checking.
you, Garnet.
Do you know if anyone has checked in with Eric or anything? It was one hell of a night. I'm just worried, that's all.
I'm sure someone has. I haven't spoke to Fiera since this morning, and that's when she was heading out to do stuff. Things didn't exactly go. She did not have the time last night to do such things. Everything happened, and then the walk. I wasn't completely mentally present on the walk back last night.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I think Amina tried to tried to sit with me and like comfort me a bit outside the warehouse because I kind of dissociated and stuff. But
We all deal with things differently. It's okay to not be ready to talk when people try to. It's
I
it's
appreciate
okay to
that.
assert your boundaries.
I don't want to get used to seeing people die. I don't want to get used to not being able to save people, you know? Like I never planned to be a hero or anything like that, and I don't think I want to, but I don't want to fail at saving people either, you know what I mean?
You can't save everyone.
I don't need to save everyone. I just don't want to get I don't want to get used to seeing people die cuz that feels like giving up. It just Stephen dying wasn't the first time I saw someone die. And I just I don't know. So many people are so frivolous about death. Like Darius and Alessia blew up half of Halavas just to prove a point. Dozens, hundreds of lives. I don't know how many. Just wiped them right the fuck out. And the idea of being that callous, that discarding people that easily just doesn't sit right with me. It's not the kind of thing that I ever want to do. You know what I mean?
I understand. I have very strong feelings about Darius X.
I don't think you're alone. I feel like if we locked Mabel in a room with him for like 20 minutes.
Yes, we probably should not give Mabel that opportunity.
Yeah.
As
I'm Go ahead, sorry.
interesting as it would be. No.
I want to hold on to the hope that he'll get some sort of comeuppance eventually. I don't know. I like the idea that there's some kind of justice, even if it's not proportionate. So hopefully he'll get some sort of recompense for what he's caused. But DM,
Something will happen someday.
what is the general vibe under the crown about Darius? Like, is he like a venerated war hero kind of figure? Is he like general public opinion of Darius Essex?
The public doesn't really have an opinion because he's essentially like the head of the FBI or the CIA. So
Gotcha.
he prefers to remain known
Essentially
only to the
anonymous. Right. So pretty much my only experiences with him were being interrogated briefly on Halavas and forward. I would never have like really heard of him or anything like that before then.
The public displays are for folks like the High General, who you had to stop for 2 hours to let pass through an impromptu military parade. Partly in part to the tarot cards, but also, very much on par for.
Oh yeah, no, it was
the
good.
World.
Okay. Sorry, just trying to temper
that's
in
great.
character opinions appropriately.
I'm here for it.
Everything's so complicated. There's the god shit with the arc and the beacons and stuff, and that's interesting to me, sort of, because of the ancient Arcassian stuff that I very, very much want to tinker with. But something just doesn't sit right about what happened with Eric and Stephen and with Darius showing up, and I just there's this nagging feeling that I'm missing something, that we're missing something. I don't know what it is.
I think what we're missing is exactly what Darius Essex is hoping that we'll miss. But that's my personal opinion on the matter.
Yeah, but you've been around a lot longer than I have, so
I'm still
your
very
opinion.
young. I've missed a lot, and I wish that I had your mindset. I wish I could view the world how you view it. You are compassionate, and I see it in you. But I have a feeling that us being under Darius Essex, I think there might be some things that we might not want to face that might have to. But it's okay to see the world the way you see it. It really does seem quite beautiful. You're
don't
compassionate.
Thank you. I try to be, but I don't know if I'd say the world as I see it isn't really. It's not, and it's not like a simplistic sort of beauty. It's just I feel like there's a lot to the world, you know? Like there are
Mhm.
things that are just nice. There are things that are just terrible. And there's a lot of stuff in between, you know what I mean? Like it's just I have I know that I'm kind of naive because I haven't really done much. Like I went straight from Brackenridge to school in the Adricolina and then to Holivas. Like it was just I didn't get to explore or experiment much, and I don't know. I I,
Different
I
paths
will
of
say
life.
one. What's that?
I said different paths of life. But we've all been
Yeah.
led here together.
One thing that has been made clear to me, I think, is that I made the right choice by not joining the military. I
Mm.
I like Harmony well enough, but it's just it seems like it doesn't. It seems like people are forced to do all sorts of shit, and I'm glad that I never went down that path like some of my friends did.
I'm glad that I didn't either. I I couldn't do it. But I wouldn't say you're too naive on the matter. You're just an optimistic. And I find beauty in that.
I appreciate that. I do my best to keep my mind open because well, that's where ideas come from. That's where all of the different, experiments and designs and everything, that's where it all comes from. Is just keeping my mind open, and oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to say. I'm just kind of waffling. But
I
yeah,
it's very lovely in here.
it is. So, tell me a bit more about you. I don't think I know very much of your history, if you don't mind sharing. Like, where are you from and stuff?
I grew up in Frostfall, And I was raised by my mother, but I lost her. And in that lost part of me, and I've been hiding, running and hiding for too long now. But some information has come to light, and now I've met each and every one of you. And I have always made it a mission to not get too close to anybody. But now I'm not sure I'm going to be running. Not the way I was, but it's been miserable living like that.
I don't know what it's like, but I'm sure it has been horrible. If you don't mind me asking, what happened with your mom?
She was misunderstood. Very misunderstood. And
If he will
Frostfire became
Sorry.
something completely different overnight. And they came for her.
Sorry to hear that. My mama's family's from Frostfire, but I've never been there myself. I don't know much about it. I'm sorry that happened. If Key will allow it, Willow will scoot closer to her and put her her right arm around Key, a sort of side hug.
He accepts the side hug.
Yay!
Absolutely.
What happened was very hush-hush. It was alleged to be the internal work of cultists of Ariak, the betrayer, that had sort of turned on themselves, and that's how your mother got involved. With what you know, there were a lot of accusations about cults of Ariak, which is a big no-no anywhere in the world. Right? But in reality, it was more grounded in sort of science and practice that was intended to be helpful, but the methods were... And it was... A lot of people probably remember hearing about of the violent end to a cult of devil-worshipping cult, essentially, a fiend-worshipping cult that had been broken up by the Veloth Telvas, Queen's Blades, but not before they had turned in on themselves, which was your initial understanding.
Thank you, Willow. I appreciate.
Of course. How old were you when you lost your mom?
I was 27.
I'm sorry. It's older than I am now, but I can't imagine that makes it any easier.
I was still very young.
Yeah.
And nothing could have prepared me. But I I can't. I want to follow in her footsteps. I want to continue making her legacy proud.
What would that mean exactly? Like, what is her legacy?
My mother was a very, very gifted herbalist. She started doing alchemy, and she left me her book. Yeah. Anyway,
Taking
Nikki
the
just
taking the
takes
very
finishes, I guess, the current glass of
yeah.
wine.
Taking the
Willow
very
had to-
expensive services of the church and providing them in tablet or tincture format or powder format at little to no cost.
Fantastic. Willow had to set her glass on the edge of the bath to do the hug. But yeah. I mean, if you get a chance, the Lux Academy has some really good alchemy classes and such. I I never had a mind for it. It is a rather severe weak spot for me, but there are definitely a lot of ways to succeed at it.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Of course.
Right. So, down in the tertiary room here, the southern room, Harmony, you have the chance to interrogate or question or inquire with Jaren. He seems very serious as he kind of closes the door and kind of waits a few seconds to hear the other door close, as this is all happening sort of simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're kind of getting situated, kind of very professionally, doing his thing, he just kind of, so you're with the Lawmaster?
Temporarily.
You all don't look like regulars. Are you some special branch?
I wouldn't say so. Just consider us a group of friends. Just wanting to spend the day together.
Very well. That remains to be seen, of course. But let us proceed whenever you are ready or comfortable. And-
Harmony will disrobe. And will get on the slab table. Whatever
It's like padded, and there's like it's like really soft cushion, right? But okay. Professional massage commences, and during the time you have first of all, you're getting all of the the knots out, which is nice, but also you have it's like a 45-minute endeavor to ask any questions of Jaren. Everyone here is
So-
very professional and above board.
You seem a little. Well, I wouldn't say twitchy, but a little cautious around military individuals like myself. Have you had any customers of any kind of command to come here recently?
Oh yes, all the time. We see all kinds of clients as really the only show in town. The Lushwater Bathhouse is the best bathhouse in the entirety of the realm, and it is 10 times, 11 times this size, but one would have to travel all the way to the Outer Kalina. See that. That being said, we see all manner of folk here at the Seaside Bathhouse.
Hmm. Well, and while she's talking, Harmony is keeping an eye out for any of the symbols or sigils that we were warned about from the Lawmaster. So as
Hmm.
he's like rolling up his arms, anything in the windowsill, she's just kind of playing it off as if she's like, ah, yes, relaxing, but she's
Yeah.
staring out.
Perception or investigation, your choice. It would
Ooh.
both technically apply. Whatever one.
I'll go for investigation.
Okay, alright.
Harmony stop working for 30 seconds? No, never.
Never.
Yeah.
21.
Definitely not in character. 21? Yeah, probably about 10-15 minutes in, kind of just kind of stops to get some more of the massage oils, and as he kind of reaches up to one of the shelves, you can see his shirt kind of crumples up, and you can see just 2 stars on the back of his neck that look like 2 there might be a third one there, which is the other symbol that you were hinted at.
Sus. I couldn't help but notice.
Hmm?
You've got a tattoo? I've been
Yes.
thinking about getting one myself.
Oh, what kind of tattoo would you like to get?
Ooh, I don't know, something to represent my family.
You could
I
get a
haven't
star
thought
to
much
represent
about
each member of your family.
I could. There's 3 other members of my family that I could get a star for. Not including myself, and she kind of looks at him.
He kind of just smiles and he says, "Look, I know that there are lots of rumors about folks with the symbol of the 3 stars.
Oh, please. No need to explain yourself, honestly. Pure curiosity. I'm not here on anything work related. Honestly, the sooner I can get out of work, the better. Right? I've had to deal with a lot of things recently, such as ships falling out of skies and all sorts.
Yes, the Ark. Well, I suppose the good thing about finding faith anew and looking to the stars and beyond, this fascinating turn of events that we have seen lends credence to some long-held beliefs about the nature of the gods or the nature of the stars and of our universe. And we believe that we have found kindred souls, individuals who walk amongst the earth, who are neither gods nor simple, ordinary women, but matrons who believe that there is so much more to be had in this world, in this life, but kind of looks towards the door, towards the other portion of the room. It seems as if Bastion's hold is to be a battleground of faith.
A battleground of faith. That sounds
And belief. More
right.
than faith for some.
I'm not really one for religion, but I have come to find myself accidentally touched by the graces of some of the gods. What would your faith say to that?
My faith would say that the gods are not as many think they are. my beliefs and what I have seen has led me to believe that once, and perhaps still, the gods are simple, ordinary creatures who have, through magical or divine means that we don't quite fully understand, a bit of power from the earth and from the stars, become more than mortal, more than man or elf or dwarf, and have transcended beyond consciousness, beyond the physical realm. And if the gods have become gods, that means that we too can also become divine, and that anything is possible. And that those who walk and seek the answers to this path, those who seek to obtain divinity and to be as the gods, to understand things from a more scientific and alchemical perspective, from a more grounded perspective, that power and magic and divinity are all things that can be obtained by those with the strength to grasp them. That is simply much more logical to me than spreading a...
You can say it.
And looks at the door again. It's just fantasy. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. That is a 23.
Kind of looks over at the other room and says, more than a blood plague.
We're gonna have to break up a fucking holy war between two cults?
Let's go.
Good lord! You got a vampire cult on one side, and I don't even know what this guy's on about. Something about becoming a god or something.
Hey, the moment he was like
Bullshit.
becoming like the gods, Harmony was like, hello?
Yeah.
Hi? A blood plague,
A blood plague. There
You know,
are...
you talk so passionately about all this.
If you have met the matrons, you would also speak so passionately about their dreams and aspirations and share them as your own. They are unlike any women you will ever meet in the entirety of your life. They are physical embodiment of what we would think of as deities in the flesh that walk among us, that seek to bring us all on the path to divinity.
And tell me more about these matrons. What do they look like?
Impossibly perfect in every way. They represent aspects that have long since been abandoned or hated by many. There is the Lady of Cycles, the Lady of Death and Rebirth. The death of the physical body does not have to be the end. If we're able to project our astral selves into the stars, perhaps we too can continue our journeys beyond. Whether we obtain the answers we seek or whether we are simply reborn to try anew. There is the Lady of Chaos, of Vengeance, Malice, and Justice. All things are shades. And without embracing a touch of chaos in our lives, we will grasp the ideal of order and perfection so tightly that it will slip through our fingers every time. Like soft oiled dough squished between your fingers. And then, of course, there is the Lady of Conquest. When all else fails, strength of arms will prevail. And combined with the other three values, conquest can become order. You see, there is order and chaos, there is light and dark, there is death and rebirth, and these three embody every aspect of it all.
And you've gotten the chance to meet these individuals
Yes.
personally.
Yes.
Harmony, hearing the themes of death and rebirth, kind of gets these static flashes in her mind from the dream vision she had.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of smiles a bit, curious.
Well, why don't you tell me why you are really here? Did you introduce yourself as Harmony, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me why you're really here, Harmony?
Why I'm really here? I believe I've been forthright. We wanted to have a spa day, a collective of friends. Nothing more, nothing less.
He kind of, as he walks around, so you can sort of have eye contact with him, he's kind of getting some fresh towels, right, some steam towels, and kind of looks at you and then kind of gestures over towards the door, like...
To, like, follow?
No, just like gesturing and kind of continues. You're about a half an hour in.
Oh, okay.
And then just... You asked about clients. And then just kind of lowers his voice. I say again, feel free to share if there is anything I can help with. I would be happy to do so. Always happy to help the law.
Harmony's gonna insight check his ass.
Go ahead, insight check.
$13?
A little bit hard to read. He's sending some mixing. He seems to very vehemently believe what he's saying, but he seems to also trying to be communicating with you in a very subtle way. Kind of letting on that he's trying to almost communicate with you in code. And he says, terrible thing, as you kind of ponder for another like minute or so and kind of let that linger. He says, terrible thing that's been happening with these disappearances. Wouldn't you agree?
I do. And her eyes.
Terrible to hear about such things. The matrons would never stand for this sort of business. There is a foulness in the air that has drawn even the closest of formerly close-knit loved ones and family groups apart. A conflict between ideology and theology.
Yeah.
It is a shame to see this spilling over and to also see other people suffering and disappearing.
Well, I was curious simply because I had bumped into two individuals that seemed to be paying attention to my presence. I only ever assume it's because I am a part of the Vascatorian army, but given that you've brought up the disappearances, I did hear on the grapevine that someone, young Lady Badav, has gone missing recently. People are quite worried. I wouldn't suppose you know anything about that, would you?
Only that Lady Badav had fallen into a downward spiral. Lady Badav needs help and guidance. I can tell you this, Harmony of the Lawmaster's Hall. The matrons of 3 would do whatever they could to help those in need. If there is something sinister or foul lurking beneath the surface of our fair civilization of Valtheria, the matrons simply wish to stand alongside what we know as the gods and elevate those along with them. If that includes helping to rid the world of darker, more insidious elements, then I know that the matrons would be happy to cooperate with the law and to do so. You see, the matrons of 3 are benevolent in all things, and perhaps someday they will stand shoulder to shoulder, officially, as far as the Vascatoria is concerned, as pillars of faith.
That would certainly be a day.
The matrons see all. Their vision pierces stone. Kind of looks around the room. Their vision sees doors where others do not.
And how would someone like myself be graced with this faith, this knowledge?
Perhaps if you are seeking the same vision, to see doors of faith where there are not. When you fetch your friend in the northern room, it is friendship together that might allow you to see doors formerly unseen with the eyes of the 3 matrons. I sense no immediate divinity here in this room amongst us, unfortunately. You would need to expand your horizons and perhaps fetch your friend. She's in the northern chamber.
Of course. And don't be surprised by the lack of divinity around me. That's very much been the way of my life.
It's not you, it's the room. Sort of a dull, boring room, this one. My colleague, whom I've had many ideological differences with, has refused me to utilize the better room to the north, on the opposite side of the bathhouse. She claims it has better energy.
Right.
If I can perhaps bend your ear for an audience with either the clergy or the government about potentially reviewing the tenets of the 3 matrons. Perhaps any guidance or spiritual or otherwise that I give you here today will help the matrons take a more prestigious and welcome place amongst the Pantheon.
Harmony thinks for a moment. I suppose if, say, you stumble across any additional information about these disappearances, I could throw in a word. Try and grant you an audience so that your matrons...
Sometimes the secrets, or sometimes the divine secrets, or sometimes the answers we seek are right below our feet. And he just kind of taps on the tile.
How many nods?
Soylent Green is made
And
of
then
people.
kind of just he kind of also just gestures to the whole floor and then like looks down, kind of looks around, not at one particular tile, but just a good anecdote to live by when you are seeking answers.
Take it on board.
First, you have to find yourself in a room more suitable, divine connection in sight.
Right.
The way the light comes into this room, it's not.
Does nothing for my skin, I know.
Right. And right around that time, all four of y'all have been in the bath for 45 minutes, and the massages are just about wrapped up. As well. You have all day to linger. If you wish to seek further knowledge from the divine with your friend, I will do what I can to call my colleague to a crisis situation, or to assist me with perhaps a loose shelf in here, or if I were to spill some oils onto the tile, might require her temporary assistance.
I think that would be swell. Thank you.
Perhaps there might be a fountain malfunction.
Something to keep her occupied for quite a bit.
Indeed.
And I'm assuming the massage is finished?
Yes, yep.
Harmony is going to put on the robe, and will just turn back to him and say, should I have any additional questions about what you've told me today, you're open to answering them as much as you can, of course.
Yes. Though I would say, in matters of faith, sometimes time is of the essence. Our immortal souls might not be here tomorrow when we wake up, and we might find ourselves not having completed the spiritual journey that we set out to complete if we wait too long.
Understood. Then I should make haste. Would
I
hate
think-
for my soul to be lost or whatever.
He's like unscrewing some oil and just kind of slowly lets it, kneels down and lets a vial sort of leak out onto the floor and says, I should go check on the fountain as you gather your companions.
Of course.
The one to
And
the
how
south here has been on the fritz.
Harmony will smile and proceed to leave, and will eye the room that Amina went into whilst making a beeline for Key and Willow.
Okay. As you kind of step out, he says, to the two women here, he says, to the both of you, your spas are ready. Your spas have been fully compensated. Your massages have been fully compensated, and you have been granted a deluxe package, sort of a gift from the house. And I'd be willing to take any of you. And one of the women just immediately like, yeah, hell yeah, down, count me in. And he's like, I just have to go check on the fountain. Please make yourself comfortable in the southern massage room here. I have to go check on the outdoors very quickly. I shall return momentarily. Has the southern fountain's been acting up? She begins the process of sort of toweling up, and you can see the oil kind of slowly spilling onto the floor, and he comes up to the fountain.
Harmony, I can't make her token leave the room. She's trapped. But Harmony's gonna make her way. Making her way over to to Key and Willow, and we'll just kneel down and say, I think I may have discovered something. And she'll like gesture down below, because I'm assuming that he meant that like there's something happening below the proper of the bathhouse. So she'll just gesture down. And apparently we don't have a lot of time, so we should probably be very swift.
Right. Okay. Willow gets out and tells off as quick as she can, gets the arm back on. Her arm only takes an action to get back on, but I imagine the arm might take a couple minutes to strap in and everything.
And you're in the process of doing that, and Amina, you are sort of all set in your room as well. And your masseuse is like, well, this has been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you at some point later this evening.
Sounds good. And then she's just gonna grab her stuff and head on out, because that toga thing is comfy.
Right, and as you open the door, you can see the other masseuse just kind of shouting.
Also trapped.
Oh, okay.
Cannot
Sorry.
leave.
That's an old dynamic lighting thing. I have.
You're
to
trapped.
fix. Okay, doors are open.
No way in, no way
And
out.
Jaren is kind of running in the same time, and he says, oh, thank goodness, Carmilla, we have 2 pending massages from deluxe packages that have been forwarded here. We have 2 waiting. There's a little bit of a spilled oil in the southern room, and the fountain outside is on the fritz again. It seems to be sort of spewing some kind of water. I really need your help. Otherwise, the proprietor, our mistress, is not going to be happy. You need to help me, Carmilla, with this now. And she just looks very...
I mean, if y'all need some help, I could take a look at the fountain, probably.
I
Oh, no.
don't...
I could not ask a guest to do such a thing.
I mean, it wouldn't be any trouble. I'm
Harmony looks
Step
to
on her
Willow.
foot.
Yeah, just silence.
Hydrator die straight, thank you. Posture check and hydrator die straight.
But Willow, you said that you would help me with doing my hair, braiding it. It's been a tangled mess recently.
Willow tilts her head towards Harmony and her undoubtedly perfect hair. I'm gonna roll an insight check for Harmony real quick to see if I'm going to roll an insight check for Willow real quick to see if she catches on.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
she's very smart, but she real thick sometimes. And also, I haven't rolled any dice all night, and it's been weird.
Fair enough. Well, lots of good juicy role play, so to be expected. Totally understandable.
Sorry, I had to when I restarted Roll20 earlier, I didn't open my sheet back up. Give me a moment.
Okay.
I mean, it was an 11, which is more than 10, which is all I was hoping for, so.
Yeah. In which case, Jaren says, "Please, I really must insist. It is a liability to have patrons. Please, Carmilla, you know the fountain's been on the fritz. Please, come and help me, and or I have to set up the room, Carmela. You're good with the fountain. Would you mind, please? And she just, unbelievable. I'll go clean up the oils. And kind of as she kind of stops and looks back in, and he says, "Ladies, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry about this. Please, I've already been in a little bit of. There's been a couple of other sort of spillages with the oils here, the vials. Just bear with me, please. I'm so sorry." And Carmilla just sighs and shrugs as she kind of makes her way down.
Harmony is going to just kind of corral the group back to the room where Mina was.
Okay.
Come on, guys, follow me. We're
Jaren
going on an adventure.
closes the other door too, a little bit. Okay, I need everyone in the room to make a perception or a perception check. Or investigation, whatever's higher.
Yeah, Willow would for sure be like turning over all the rocks and stuff, you know, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Harmony would have given the breakdown of essentially what she found out from Jaren. Just being like, I don't think there's a lot of time, so we do have to make haste.
I got a 25 on investigation for Willow.
Oh, yeah, okay. As you all kind of step into the room, and Harmony's like, what exactly do you say, Harmony?
There's something below this facility that may or may not have Lady Badav, and her life may or may not be in danger. So we need to figure out if there's any kind of mechanic or thing in here that opens up a secret entrance or a door.
Perfect. And as you kind of come in and kind of close the door behind you, you immediately Oh, go ahead.
Does the door have a lock?
Well, first things first, as you kind of step into the room and you immediately start scanning, Willow, with that high of a roll, as soon as Harmony finishes speaking, you just kind of look around and you say, "You mean that section of tile that has a door-shaped slit in it?"
Do you mean that door-shaped section of the tile?
Just like,
Huh.
Does the door that we just entered have a lock on it so that I can, you know?
It does. It's a very simple rudimentary lock, but
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll lock it when we are all in, just to stall a little bit longer if we need it.
okay. And it's
I
sort of
think
like
that might be it.
it's sort of like flush to the wall, so it's like right where kind of the wall meets the corner of the room, just to the side. So it's not obvious unless you're looking for it. Otherwise, it kind of blends seamlessly in with the wall. But hearing that from Harmony, you know exactly what to look for as you kind of see that position in the tile, Willow, and you kind of walk over and just kind of feel around, and you can see the very fine slits in the wall, and you just kind of push forward, and you can see that the sort of bricks, and there were sort of tables that were positioned. You have to like move the tables. You don't even have to move the tables. You can just kind of push the individual small tables. You can just kind of push the door in and then close it behind you. But yeah, you just kind of push on it, and the stonework kind of just pushes in, and you can easily close it behind you if you wanted to head in.
Yeah.
Before anybody just starts going through random secret doors, I really think I think there might be vampires here.
Vampires?
Yeah, my masseuse was Carmilla, the woman that we were supposed to come in and talk to and interrogate. She seemed really, 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 really nice.
Very attractive too.
Very attractive, and I think it's because she's a vampire.
Oh.
She has the black sun tattoo on her wrist, and she was talking about immortality, and everything sounded great. But then she started talking about the queen of the black sun, and it just didn't really feel right. After a little bit, I think think she might be a vampire, and I think there might be vampires down there, and they're having a meeting tonight, and she told me that I could come back because I was super interested in the things that she was saying until I realized it might be vampires.
If
Becoming
there...
a vampire might be hot.
Please don't.
That was fun!
That was a
please
joke.
don't.
That was a joke. That was a joke. I was just. I have bad timing with comedy. I apologize.
Poor Amita's just like,
Honestly,
I don't know what to do anymore. I think they're
can-
vampires.
You can hear from outside kind of shouting in and just, Jaren, what is going on with this fountain? And Jaren's like, try turning it clockwise.
Turn it off and on.
Try turning the spigot clockwise. Sometimes it gets stuck.
I think we could perhaps sneak in here, do some reconnaissance, try and gauge their numbers, or whoever is down there now, and to see if Lady Badava's actually down there. Then we can come back and just pretend like we were having a private discussion about, I don't know, what do people talk about when they socialize?
Don't look at me. I'm not much of a socializer either.
Wait, hold on. Key, your bird, can it turn invisible?
Yeah. I believe so.
I am loath to send someone's beloved pet down into a place, but I think yours can talk, whereas Khadijah cannot. Maybe we could send your bird down there to go look and scout for us before we go down there.
You hear from the other side of the window kind of, I'm not going down there, are you crazy?
He said he would actually rather not go down there.
Is that
Look by
beloved pet
myself.
or- Is that beloved pet or beloathed
think
pet?
he
What kind of
might
relationship do you think
be-
this is?
He's afraid of the dark, you see.
Oh, I apologize. I assumed that it could see in the dark.
I can't see in the door. The insolence.
Yes.
Just an interesting looking creature, so I assumed it had dark vision.
Mhm.
Well, whatever you're doing, you're about to be found out. So stay or go, but do something.
I think we should.
Jaren, I think I've
DM.
got it.
Yep.
We
Can
should
I-
go.
While they're
We
talking
should go.
and planning, can I look at the mechanism for this door that like opens and closes,
Yep.
and strategically break it so it can't be opened again? At least not from the other side.
Ooh. I would say make an Arcana check. See if you're-
Sure.
Pretty simple, probably DC 11. The stone latch. So,
Well, it's a natural 19 on the die, and I'm an artificer.
so
25 total.
it is. You can try and make like a one-way jam, but also you're gonna need to get out at some point too, which would likely require you to make sure that
If there's no way I can
Yeah,
do
I
it
would-
where it's not trapping us in here, that's fine. I'm not going to trap us inside. So if
I
that's
would-
the only way that I can.
Well, I would say with a 25, you're confident that I would say sort of the sliding mechanisms. With a 25, you can kind of quickly cut them. It would require all of you to kind of push the stone sort of out after you sever the mechanisms, but you'd have to also remove the sliding mechanisms from the barricade position with a little bit of strength, and then sort of push the door, and it would be sort of permanently broken from that point on. But you could probably make that work.
It sounds like the kind of thing that would make a bunch of noise too, though.
Ooh, give me a second. Let me check something.
It
Okay.
would kind of be like sort of welding weld cutting the stone was sort of like a flame tool.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that this is a stone door, stone walls, big cavern of stone where the rooms are. It's gonna echo. It's gonna echo real
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So like it's gonna be really suspicious if on the other side of this room they just hear clang,
Well-
clang, clang.
Construction noises.
Yeah. Well, Key has the invisibility spell, as they just said in the chat.
That does not help with noise, though.
No.
And then you just hear, "Okay, I've got it."
I really
We
think
should go.
just go.
We should go. Let's
We'll
just
figure it out
go.
when we get down there.
Right. I mean, how are y'all on stealth? Can we all sneak relatively good?
Yes,
You
we
hear a tapping on the
should
window.
go
Toot, toot,
now.
toot. She's coming back.
Yes,
we have to go now.
Harmony begins going through
Okay.
secret tunnels.
Yeah.
secret
Okay. All
tunnels.
right. So Harmony first, followed by,
I guess Willow will go behind her.
and you hear Feyrondale. She says, "Don't worry, I'll make it so that it seems like you were never here." And you just hear a little bit of sparkling magic as you kind of close the door behind you. Okay. So, who's next again? Behind Key? Harmony.
I still can't move. Key. I was.
Okay. Okay. And then Willow or Amina.
I'll go third, I guess.
Yeah, I will take up the rear, just more so for sound, so she can listen.
Okay. Right. And as you descend the steps of the hidden chamber into the darkness below the bathhouse, after we're gonna go ahead and take a break.
Woo!
So, yeah. All right, let's take 10. Let's take 10, everybody. We're gonna run a 90-second ad break, and we will be back in 10 minutes at 12:10 EST, and we'll see y'all shortly then.
Hell yeah.
Okay, all right, so go take care of yourselves, go get some beverages, etc., and we'll see you back here in a little bit. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Break.
No.
Yeah, well,
Vampires. Rah.
but vampires, rah rah.
Y'all, we are
Exactly.
level 3. We are not fighting vampires.
We could meet
Oh,
Edward
who said-
Cullen. You don't understand.
Who said-
Absolutely running away the second they show up.
Listen, this is.
I hope they sparkle.
I
all-
see one fang and I am out, okay?
This is level
Harmony sees-
appropriate.
Yeah, if Harmony sees a fang, she's gonna be showing off her own fang. So like, heckin' get with it, right? If you want to
Yeah,
bite me, I'm gonna
yeah.
bite you back. Okay? Out of spite.
Right?
It's not gonna do anything.
It's like
No.
60% of Harmony's motivations for everything.
Fortunately for y'all, there are no fangs in the first room, just a lot of brackish water.
Yay!
That bodes so well.
The chamber at the bottom of the staircase seems to be completely empty. It is unlit and it is filled with, it is filled and flooded with foul-smelling water to a depth of 2 feet.
I'm so glad we got the 24-hour package because honestly,
Right? I've run this before and it was the same exact exasperation. It was, oh, for real? But we just had a bath. And then somebody
Yeah.
was like, well, we got the whole package.
yeah, we've got the whole day. It's okay. Harmony will begin just looking around. I see the map on Roll20.
Mhm.
But Harmony will begin looking around the room
Okay.
and just trying to see if there's anything of note. Symbols.
For now, with your passive perception, it's just sort of like this empty antechamber. It seems as if the water is sort of flowing in from culverts that is coming in. Ooh, tarot card. Okay, I had one in the queue. It's coming in from sort of culverts and drains, and seems to kind of be piling up. Something here is awry. Something here is not quite right. Tarot card. We have the Sorcerer. Okay, that is just the Sorcerer. So, with Amina getting a benefit from the card from the DM, let's go with Harmony, Key, and Willow. I'd like to have you all roll a d20, please. Good time for a tarot card, because now, with the Sorcerer, y'all are going to get some benefits, because it was upright. So, some benefits that might mean the difference between survival and...
Survival.
Undeath. Vampirism.
It makes sense that Harmony rolled highest because, you know, she is a sorcerer.
That is true. Okay, Harmony.
I'm scared because I've been rolling really well, and I know that my dice, the moment I need them, are gonna fail me.
Harmony, please roll a d4.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, okay. Ghost Rock.
That is a 3.
Ooh, okay. Pretty straightforward. You are sort of inspired by being the one who figured this out, right? Who kind of put together the things and being the one that just happened to choose Jaren, right? And kind of working him, and you just feel like everything is falling into place, and you're ready to solve this puzzle, and the magical wellspring of potential within you that is inherent within you as a sorcerer begins to well up, and you gain advantage on the next Arcana check indefinitely.
Ooh.
So, yep, the next time you make an Arcana check, you have advantage on that, and that lasts until you use it.
Cool.
Yes. So if there's something that you want to discern or know more about, magical or otherwise, and there's a lot of paranormal, supernatural stuff happening here, so that's going to be very helpful. So thank you, Ghost Rock. That's going to give Harmony advantage on the next Arcana check to discern anything. And there's a lot of Arcana checks to be made here. Okay.
While we're walking through and stuff, Willow pulls out the enhanced crossbow and just has
still
that
stuffy.
at the ready.
Okay. You take out the crossbow, and it kind of hums with magical potential and sort of expands. And you can hear the hum. An actual wombat. What a great name. Thank you for the follow. It's an actual wombat. All right, so the antechamber is flooded. Something here is clearly amiss or awry, and well, what would you like to do? I'm also going to try and fix my camera here. Okay, good. Hype. Yeah. Hype. Thank you.
Harmony's gonna like slowly and calmly wade through the water, just keeping an eye out for anything. Where do we want to go, I suppose? Is there any direction where the water is naturally flowing? Or is it stagnant?
Well, perception check, and also let me know what your passive perception is, so I can let you know any more details.
'Tis 11.
A passive perception 11. Okay.
Can I also look around for any kind of like drains or anything like that that might be clogged in the ground?
Yeah, investigation.
Sure.
Drain
Perception
specifically.
is a 5.
Oh, okay. Well, that would default to the 11. Harmony, I think you're more focused on finding something that you can solve rather than just wading through brackish muck water, and you're kind of like, oh, this is the unfortunate yucky part.
Yeah.
I rolled a 9 on the investigation. I don't know if that also would default to passive or not, but I rolled a 9.
What's your passive?
16.
16. Yeah, I would say, you know, what you can see is that there's sort of one here, and there's another here, and the water kind of has a little bit of a flow in this general direction. With your passive, it's just kind of this way. It's very faint, but your passive of 16 will give you that at least.
I move to the drain that's nearest me and see if there's anything like that I can tell is physically clogging it or anything like that.
The drains themselves seem to just not be functioning, and the culverts here on either side are kind of releasing a steady enough stream to keep things at this sort of flooded level. It's kind of backed up on itself, in a way.
Okay.
How high is the water? Like, is there still like a ledge to walk on? Maybe.
It's only 2 feet deep, so it's kind of like if you have slightly below the knee boots. After putting all of your gear back on, because I'm assuming, you can just grab your stuff and go and put it on the hallway. But, especially with the assistance of Deal. But after, if any of you have boots, that are just below the knee, you're fine. You're totally fine. It's only 2 feet deep.
He says to the person who's 5'1".
Yeah, you might be in a little bit of a pickle.
Willow's right there
didn't
next
realize-
to you. I think she's 5'3" with her armor.
Oh.
So
So tiny.
Yes.
yeah,
Ah,
travel sized.
Yes.
yeah. Harmony needs to capitalize on head pats more often with you two then.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Ma'am.
Willow would not be able to deal.
I think Khadija might bite you for the indignation.
Oh, that's
How
fine.
dare you?
I accept that.
This is where I live. How dare you?
You go to pat Amina, and your hand just comes away with a mink wrapped around it, gnawing on your hand.
Aggressively.
For those of us who are might potentially be as my friend used to say, vertically challenged, to as my friend Ashley, she'd be like, hey, slightly vertically challenged. She was like 4 or 10, but my bestie, yes. For those who may be a little on the shorter end, the water being 2 feet deep might be a little more of an inconvenience. It's yucky water.
Wait,
For sure.
how do we want to go down?
It's not like sewer water, but it's still gross.
I can't. There doesn't seem to be anything blocking the drain. It might just be that the flow's more than the drains can handle right now, but
Rudolph from the chat has said also you might be bite-sized in the vampire world.
everything.
Thank you for that,
yeah.
Rudolph. I appreciate you.
Everything
I
is
appreciated that.
bite-sized if you're determined enough.
Yes. We have fun here. Anyway. Puns aside, thank you again, Rudolph. Where would y'all like to go? I'm assuming some or all of you are kind of like you. Yeah.
Just like Harmony's used to stepping through really gross crap doesn't mean she likes stepping through gross crap.
Right.
Big mood.
Mm.
So I see a little path on the left there. Is that the way the water is flowing to, you said? Or is water flowing from there?
Let me unmute there. There's sort of a very slight motion of water heading towards the southwest, right, which leads to a dead end. It's very, very subtle. Subtle enough maybe to help the water not rise any higher, but
Right. Okay. Looks like there's only one path we can go. The other one's a dead end.
Okay. I suppose we go this way then. Harmony will begin moving down one of the passageways.
okay. Winding your way through one of the narrow tunnel passages.
She's gonna try and see if she spots any kind of like traps just any
Okay,
kind
yeah.
of thing that looks slightly out of place, or just keeping an eye out for it.
Okay,
Can
all
I
right.
assist with that?
Yes, I will say you can either. I would say keeping an eye out with Harmony in the lead. Harmony, you can make that at advantage with Willow being your second.
I imagine Willow's kind of like
Yeah.
pointing out the stonework and stuff, and sort of
Mm-hmm.
talking about the architecture. Not in any significant detail, but just sort of observing the way the stones are laid and stuff.
That's a perception check, right?
Yes. The air down here is particularly stale and stagnant, and there is this sense of damp, sort of arid death that sort of lingers in the air. So perception at advantage.
14.
Okay. You
Bardic.
nothing. Bardic?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm giving her a bardic inspiration.
What do you say to give Harmony a bardic inspiration?
If I can't get the smell out of my boots, I am charging them to the Lawmaster as well.
Fair enough.
Yep, that is definitely inspiration to get my butt in gear.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and add a D. Is it 8 or 6?
I believe it's a D6. I'm trying to bardic inspiration. Yep, it's a D6 currently.
Okay. All right. Roll a D6. Add that to the result.
Oh my god, that's a 1. 15!
Well, with a 15, that is enough to kind of stop, and you have a second where you say, "Oh my gods, this is a hallway."
I figured it out. The chair was a chair all along.
Yeah. Does
But that's what
Caleb
the chair wants you
recognize
to
this
think.
chair? Yes. It's a chair.
It's a chair. Yep. Everything seems totally fine, and Harmony is confidently walking everyone down this tunnel.
Okay. As you kind of slosh through the muck and the arid, sort of this stale, dry air with the wet ground, but the stale. I would say not arid. I would say that the air is definitely damp and stale and uncomfortable, and but that sort of stale air, I was thinking of other synonyms for that. Arid wouldn't be the right synonym, but the air is definitely stale, stagnant, and the environment is damp and deathly in a way. But you're able to kind of continue down, and there is a small set of stairs in the gloom that sort of leads up a couple of steps as well. Oh, we lost Avalon's cams, which slightly moved the cameras around
Oh no.
momentarily. Oh, there we go.
I don't know why that happened. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
didn't do that.
No worries.
You still don't have me. I'm a black screen for some reason.
Oh
Oh.
no.
What the heck?
Strange. Well, the good. Try going it. It looks like something. Oh, there you go. All right, I was gonna say it looked like something might be over your camera. You were back on for a second.
It's because it's using the wrong camera. Give me just a second.
Oh, okay. Interesting. There you go.
My good webcam for some reason is not being registered by Discord. I'll mess with it later.
Oh, that's Discord and cams again. It's like the. Oh boy. Well, at least we have you. In a slightly greenish light. Oh, cool. I like the different color lights. All right, so proceeding down the hallway, trying to defeat the hallway boss. Harmony, coming to that set of stairs, it sort of leads up out of the water.
Oh, well, you'll be pleased to know that there's no more sludge or disgusting brackish water for us to wade through anymore. Congratulations.
I kind of.
Making our way.
All right, stepping out of the slosh onto the stone. After which you sort of come to an old an old wooden door that is sort of reinforced with steel latches. And on the door itself, there is carved somewhat recently. It seemed to be sort of a recent carving. Not entirely sort of like scratched or crude, but someone spent a decent amount of time making a relatively new sort of etched carving onto the door, and it's good enough, right? So it's the symbol of sort of a skull on the left-hand side, a flaming skull on the right-hand side, and in the center there was a third skull, and it has a crown atop it. Sort of etched into the sort of damp, somewhat rotting wood, the sort of brown wood.
Can you throw those symbols in chat? Just I couldn't. My brain refused to categorize them. I'm so sorry.
Does anyone have any way to detect any kind of magical energy around this door?
Yeah, I can do that. Just give me a second. Yeah, I'll take a few minutes if we're willing to ritual cast detect magic. Willow pulls her goggles off for a second and takes a few minutes with a little screwdriver, just sort of tinkering with the mechanism to make sure the iris closes correctly, and after about 10 minutes throws them back on and has detect magic up.
Okay, all right. We're waiting here momentarily. The door itself is not magical.
Door doesn't read as magic.
Ooh, interesting. Let's see. Double check on this. There is a faint bit of magic emanating from sort of beyond the wall here. So you can sort of, almost if you're seeing sort of this faint glow, like almost like you're seeing a 3D schematic, but you're not seeing the actual schematic or the layout of this particular system of tunnels, but you're seeing sort of beyond the wall, there is this sense of sort of something faintly glowing, this aura of sort of pale green light on the other side of that wall.
What school of magic does it seem
Necromancy.
Delightful. Door doesn't seem magical, but there's some sort of source of necromancy magic on the other side of this wall somewhere.
Can Harmony try and, like, it's not gonna do anything, but like press her ear up against the wall and see if she hears anything?
Sure, make a perception check.
Oh boy, I keep doing this
As
when
you
I'm
kind
not
of-
good at it.
Sure,
The
put your
wall's a
ear
mimic.
against the wall. Yeah, the wall starts to nom nom.
Oh no. I got oh wait, I'm gonna use my DM inspiration because this is ridiculous. I got a natural one.
The whole bathhouse is
Okay,
a vampire,
okay, yeah.
actually.
Wow, I love it. It's a 2.
You don't hear
But you
anything?
know what it isn't? A 1.
I mean, hey, yeah, you got the bad rolls out of the way.
True, true. I told you it was gonna start fudging me over.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Get them out of the way. So
Mm-hmm. I can't seem to hear anything on the other side of this wall, so I'm not exactly sure if anything is occupying wherever the source of magic is coming from. Perhaps we should tread lightly and try and be as silent as possible.
didn't even ask,
That-
but no one's done this before, right? We changed it a little bit, but
Nobody's done what before?
this particular instance, this map.
Oh,
No.
I've never been
Okay.
here.
Cool. Carry on.
Harmony is gonna keep going forward towards the door.
I say instance like it's an MMO.
Willow will try to move behind Harmony sneakily.
Okay.
Yeah, be stealthy like.
All right. So proceeding towards the door, you can get a better view of the three skulls as they have been recently carved onto the door, and there is this getting a little closer. There is what seems to be almost like a trick of the eye. The skulls almost seem to drip with sort of magical ichor that seems to kind of bleed into the door. And when you get closer, you can see that, no, it's just an etching that has been part of here. But it's almost like acidic, like there's been some sort of form of decay that is sort of dripping from the engravings in the actual door. Like these three skulls are dripping with sort of acidic, decaying magic.
Outstanding.
That
I-
totally bodes well.
Hate it. All right. What do we do? Is it some sort of puzzle, a secret way in, or whatever?
I hope not. I suck at puzzles so much.
Can I sort of study the carvings and see if there's any any wear or anything that would suggest that they're touched at all? If there's any kind of mechanism behind them?
Yeah, that would be investigation.
It's 19 total.
19 total. The door does not seem to have any spring mechanisms or anything untoward that might spring upon you as you try to enter.
Oh no, I'm looking for like an opening mechanism.
Oh. A latch, yes. It has a latch.
Is it locked?
Are you going to try the door?
I will check if it is locked, yes.
Okay. Getting a little closer with your 19, it does not appear to be locked.
I think we can just open the door and go in. It's just a sign.
Okay. Harmony will open the door.
Okay. We kind of push the door open and step through. There is a larger chamber. To your right, a set of stairs descends into brackish water. There are occasional wall sconces that sort of light this path with sort of either dull embers or faintly glowing flames. To your left, there is another door. And to the south, there is a third door directly in front of you, Harmony. On the door directly in front of you, sort of to the bottom, right? So to the south, there is an image of just the skull, right? The plain skull. And to this door here, there is an image of the skull bearing the crown, but it has been defaced. Excuse me. It has been defaced, and you can see that in a much more crude manner, fangs have been carved into the skull, and there are slash marks through it.
Huh.
I just looked over and saw Key's face like, what is happening?
So Jaren has totally been down here and he's been messing with the doors.
Jaron's been
He's totally been passive aggressively vandalizing these doors.
That's
It's
so
a
funny.
prank, guys. God.
It's a prank, bro.
But you can see that they're Amina. You can see burned into the door itself are similar symbols and etchings to what similar symbols to what you had seen on Carmilla's wrist, but in a much more sort of complete line of symbols, forming almost like a full sentence or a full string of pattern, sort of below the defaced skull. Pull another tarot card.
So we've got regular death, royal death that's now maybe just bloody death, and fiery death. Great.
God.
It's fine.
I feel like we should investigate these rooms first before we venture into wherever this necromantic energy is coming from.
Could I have
No, now
Key?
that I think about it.
Go ahead,
Go on.
sorry. I was going to say, in the meantime, could I have Key and Willow roll a d20 for a tarot card from Renee? Thank you, Renee.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20 for me.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I would like to enter the room, please. I can't move myself.
Oh, no. Okay. Zoom.
I am also coming towards the water, stopping. I don't actually enter the water, but just peering into this space to see if I see anything of note or interest.
Okay. Also, it seems like you're a little choppy. Like maybe it sounds like a microphone has been plugged half in, and it's got that like sort of static chop. With your natural 20, could I also have you roll a, as you approach the edge of the water? Could I also have you roll a d4, please, if you wouldn't mind?
All right. So first question: is the mic better?
No, it's still choppy.
Give me a second.
You know, like when you have like an aux cable and you're kind of like bzz, 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 kind of the.
It might be a mic in your camera that might be activated.
Yeah.
I actually just checked my settings, and it's supposed to still be using the interface. I'll mess with it in a second. Can you hear me at least?
Yeah, we can hear you at least. We'll go with it for now, and then we can, after you do your thing, we can see if
Sure.
we can fiddle around with that. Also, what'd you get for the d4?
So I got a 3 on the D4. What was the skill? What was the ability check that you wanted me to make?
There wasn't one. What were you doing again?
Oh, she's just peering down the place where the water is coming from. Stopping without entering the water, just stopping right at the head of it to look down that hallway.
Okay. All right. No ability check. Just wanted to. You can see. I'll tell you what you can see in a second. But for the 3, you can see on the ground, sort of, you kind of step on sort of an old, dirty, something shiny in the dirt that you kind of step on, and you kind of take a step back, and you can see sort of like an old rope pendant that has sort of like a silver charm attached to it that has been worn and sort of scuffed into the stone and covered by sort of a thin layer of dirt.
Fancy. Has it been less than 10 minutes?
It has not.
Since I...
The detect
Okay.
magic is still up.
So... Okay. Does it appear to be magical?
It does. So this is the monk, right? So the monk is going to get you one of the 4 blessings upright, and this pendant is going to give you the blessing of Inavar. As you can see, the symbol of Inavar the Forge Lord with a hammer striking an anvil and sort of the image of sort of fire flaring up behind it. It's a very simple, easily recognizable symbol of the Lord of Fire. And this is going to give you, whenever you choose to use it, this is a magical pendant that is going to, upon activation, which can be used with a free object interact, 1d8 plus 3 fire damage to the next spell, melee, or ranged attack that you of your choice.
Cool. I actually already have the permanent version of the Blessing of Invar as well, from when Willow left a prototype hand on an altar that was also from a tarot card. So I don't know. It was a while back. It was a few episodes ago. An altar was found in the embassy. I left like an old prototype hand that Willow had made, and you gave me a Blessing of Inavar.
Oh, do you want to pass that
as a
along?
permanent buff to my the melee attacks on the other armor model. It was a D4 plus 1 fire damage added to those thunder gauntlets.
Okay. Well, this is a little bit bigger. This is the D8 plus 3. Single use.
Cool. I don't know why my computer is on some stuff tonight. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay.
I'll mess with connections.
Do you
next time.
That's okay. Do you want to mess around with that for a couple of minutes, because it's coming in very robotic and kind of all, and sort of temporarily pass the torch, and we'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm gonna have to drop out to actually fix it because Discord won't. Like, I don't know what's wrong.
Do you want to try disconnecting and reconnecting?
Yeah, I'll be
See
back
if that works.
in a minute.
Okay. Camera's gonna get wonky for a second. But we still have everyone, even though albeit slightly out of place. So, with the three of y'all that are left, what would y'all like to do?
So, we still have the doors.
Yes, you have the doors, and Willow is investigating sort of a step down into sort of another layer of sort of brackish water.
Harmony will go towards the door that's had the south, this one, the normal skull, I'm assuming.
Normal skull, yep.
Yeah, and she's just gonna check it for traps.
Okay, investigation check.
Ooh yeah, 21.
Okay, the door does not appear to be trapped, nor does it appear to be locked.
Harmony will very slowly open the door.
Okay, all right. You kind of put a hand on the door and kind of slowly open the door before you.
All the times to do things without Mabel and her bag of limitless food products. Come down here to a vampire lair without garlic. I don't know if that's real or not, but I'd feel much better with it.
I would love if we had a pouch of like Mabel's seasonings and we just took like all purpose and like garlic seasoning, which is like back.
All right, I'm back. Is my mic still
Yeah,
screwy?
no,
Mic
everything
check.
seems to be fixed.
Oh my god, I am so sorry. Apparently, my previous setup was perched precariously on a cliff or something.
No.
Because moving my computer is messing with things, I guess. I don't know. In any case, I'm back now, and that's what matters.
Oh, the good news.
Sorry.
That's the good news. The possibly bad news is that Harmony opened a door, and we have some block text.
Oh no.
Lying on the floor of this otherwise empty room are the pale bodies of 3 humans in filthy black robes arranged in a triangular formation. A lit torch lies between them. A rough-hewn staircase to the left leads down to another torch-lit chamber.
How old are these bodies? Do they Seem recent.
There is also a fourth body stuffed into a corner, sort of contorted in on itself. Go ahead, and you would have to get a little closer to make a medicine check if you want to determine how recent the bodies are.
DM, I am so sorry to ask you to backtrack. What was the bonus to the bonus of fire damage from the Blessing of Innivar? It was a D8 plus something.
1d8 plus 3.
Plus 3. Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's okay. As you enter the room and sort of lean over to kind of search one of the bodies.
Harmony's gonna kick one of the bodies just to see if it moves.
Okay, you kind of kick one of the bodies. And as you're looking down, Amina and Key, you can see there's this moment where the other two bodies leap up from the ground, flails in hand.
No! Down! Back!
And the one furthest to the back, it says, "Embrace the Lady of Death!" I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yee. We have to click our tokens before we
Yes,
hit
click your
initiative, right?
token before you hit initiative.
I had a 21 with the physical dice.
All right. We roll initiative for these boys briefly, and then we'll get to making sure that everything looks good on the tracker. Oop. I suppose I should probably make it so that the rolls are not necessarily private. It's per toggle. Advantage. Toggle.
Those are not bad initiative rolls, everybody. Look at those.
Ooh, boy.
I take back what I said. They're terrible.
Yeah.
All right, times 3. Right.
Necrolite
tracker.
of death.
I knew these lads were heckin' playing dead. I knew it. I felt it in my bones.
Why are they coming up as different in the... Okay, wait. Bit of death. Really strange. Their name is not... Weird. Anyway. The appropriate name in the chat. 2, 3, Harmony 13, Key 11, Willow 21. Amina, what's your initiative? 19?
20.
20 total? Okay.
Yeah, my 16 looked like a 15, but it is. I rolled a 16 and I've got a +4 to initiative.
Okay. So there are these 3 sort of individuals clad in sort of dingy black robes. Their eyes are sunken, and many of them have sort of long beards. They seem to be sickly. Some of them are green, sort of pale, and they all have these dread-looking flails that are sort of dripping with black ichor and sort of radiating with sort of this shadowy energy. And the whole room just has this air of terror about it as they leap up with this fervor. Despite being flail, they seem to come at you with this fervor and intensity as they start to swing the flail. Some of them begin to ignite sort of shadow flame in their hands, and they have this sort of seemingly lust for death and to unalive all of you. So as this is the scene that is sort of playing out before you.
That's so delightful.
Yeah, so Willow, you are up first in the initiative as they all, in a very hostile manner, sort of lunge towards you to attack you.
If I move here, that's just 5 feet, I know, but do I have line of sight on the one that's to Harmony's right?
Let's take a look. Yes, you do.
Okay, then I will shoot it with the crossbow. Actually, no, I won't. Lightning gauntlet.
Lightning gauntlet? Okay.
Yeah, Willow holds out her hand, her prosthetic hand, and this blue glow starts emanating from the palm, and it coalesces into this ball of lightning Little arcs are hitting the tips of the fingers on the prosthetic hand, and she throws it like a baseball. Give me
Okay.
a moment.
All right. Throwing it down. Yeah, it's definitely familiar. It's familiar if you've done this. It's just full color, Rudolph. It's a full color map, which is really cool.
All right, so that was a 25 to hit.
Yep, that does hit.
6 lightning damage. Give me just a second. I think there's an extra thing on that.
Okay. Harmony is trying to like kick this guy back down, and he's like kind of wrestling with her to get back up, and kind of these crazy eyes as he's got the flail up and he's ready to, and Harmony's trying to kick him back down, and he kind of looks over, and before he can really get the flail into position, you just see Willow act and throw this ball of lightning, and just he kind of starts to foam and froth at the mouth.
Yeah, so once per turn when I use the lightning launcher, I can add a d6 to the damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that real quick.
Nice. Roll a d6. He starts to
There's an additional
smolder.
There was an additional 4 points of damage for a
You
total
got
of
it.
10.
Okay, 10 total. Heard.
And then, can I get past Amina and Key?
You can move through other players. You just cannot end your turn in the same square as other players.
Does it use extra movement to do so?
It does not. Not in this situation.
Okay.
Some situations it might, but not here. There's enough room. You might have to be like, excuse me, you can kind of bump shoulder check Amina and Key on your way by for flavor, however you want to flavor that, but kind of, excuse me, kind of pushing through. But you absolutely can do that.
I think Willow will stay here. She's not wearing the punchy armor.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, that's my turn for the moment.
Okay,
Not
all
for
right.
the moment. That's my turn.
Amina, seemingly cultists of death, very eager to try and dole it out to all of you. This crazy look in their eyes, bloodshot and everything.
Amina does not have like any of her instruments out. She was getting a massage. She didn't think she was gonna need them, and then it's like there's really gross water. I don't want to accidentally drop my loot in this. That's gross. So she is casting magic with her hands for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
That y'all have seen, and because she was surprised and because she already didn't want to be here, she does the first thing that just kind of comes naturally, and she is just gonna cast Shatter.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's a.
Do you want to do just the 2 on the bottom or the whole room?
Well, it's a 10-foot radius. So
Oh, okay,
can
these two, yeah.
Okay, I can hit 2 of them, and that is a DC 13 con save.
Okay.
It looks like musical like bars that just come out of her fingers.
All right, 1 passes,
so cool.
1 fails.
Okay.
As the musical bars kind of come out of your fingers and sort of vibrate the air around you, kind of around Harmony, you can hear the musical vibration. Oh, wow. Half damage on a success?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the one that is sort of has the wildest eyes, that is like, he gets kind of running in the flail. Immediately, just you can see this wave of energy kind of hits into his chest, and his chest just kind of caves in on itself, and you just see him get like and collapses onto the ground, kind of gurgling and twitching. And the other melodies kind of just discordantly kind of swing around the room and sort of pulse at the far side. And it is half damage, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as he kind of stumbles back, and you can see his ears start to bleed profusely, sort of clear and red fluid, as he kind of stumbles back against the wall, and yes, death comes for us all.
He's not factually wrong, but I hate this situation so much.
Right, you're not wrong, but also stop it. It's not nice.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop attacking us. Down, boy.
All right. Very good. 10 damage on the one on the bottom. And also this corpse kind of just pops up, and more you just hear cracking of bones.
Oh.
Anything else for Amina?
That body is extra deceased.
Yes.
No, I don't. I don't have anything else right now. Except, oh, I don't want to move. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move out of Key's way, so Key can do that crazy Eldritch Blast, and I don't get my hair singed.
Okay.
Good plan.
Fair enough. All right, so the one with the... Seeing that they have both been hit, and they are both very eager for death after you move out of the way, Amina, the first one to the south kind of runs forward, and you can see he's got these kind of menacing-looking claws. They both have these sort of spiked claws in one hand and the flail in the other. And this one is going to swing the flail, and the other one that was kind of pushed back against the wall is going to try and position himself to rake up with the claws, and he goes next. So the first one, kind of as he charges in, he kind of gets real close and just kind of swings the flail and just says, "Have you seen her?" And just kind of swings the flail over. And almost in chorus, the other lady, the other guy says, "The Pale Lady of Death," as he prepares to strike up. 6 is going to miss, though, as you're able to kind of step aside, and you can feel the wind on this flail as woo, kind of comes down, and you do a sidestep, very sort of in cinematic fashion, as it crashes into the stonework. But the other one is going to come around for an upswipe with the claws. For 10, which you're able
Misses
to...
again.
Yeah. And do you have the sword out? Or do you have
Not
to
yet.
summon that? Okay. So
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
up, and you kind of do like almost a matrix dodge back as kind of swipes up. And that's going to be both of their turns, and it goes back to you, Harmony.
Whew. Okay. So Harmony, seeing that everybody's using kind of like thunder/lightning energy, kind of feels in her zone right now, and you watch as she kind of gathers her hands throughout the air, almost like collecting the remnant thunderous energy that everybody's used, and uses it to create 3 dots, and will send 2 to the one in front of her and 1 to the one beside her,
Okay.
doing a magic missile.
Nice. Kind of gathering the potential energy in the room. Okay.
2 each. So that's 4 for the bottom one, and then 2 to the one to the left, Oh, wait, that's to the right. To the right, to the right.
Okay. So as the two, these sort of bolts of static electricity in the air kind of coalesce and sort of kind of form as these darts and sort of into the one on the south, and he just and just kind of starts to convulse and again start to foam at the mouth, but it doesn't stop, but his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he just kind of exhales in relief as he falls backwards and cracks onto the pavement. The other one still seems to be standing.
How dare. Harmony will end her turn.
Okay, all right, Key.
Oh yeah. Gonna move right there, and then I'm a Eldritch Blast this, I guess.
All right. As you're kind of sparking the shadow flame, you hear, "It is as she's a pale rider of death, and a moonlit wake, and pale spring and its clutches come for us all." As you kind of fire the Eldritch Blast, show me Eldritch Blast.
Not letting me roll it on. Oh, that's for description only.
I think you just click the actual text Eldritch Blast on the spell sheet. Maybe?
Nope, I guess not. I think it's.
It's roll 20 not being nice.
Yeah.
Roll 20, not
I guess I'll
cooperating
just
today.
roll myself.
Yeah, that works. You can do that.
Do you want each one to be its own roll?
I think at level 3 you only get the. Oh no, that's right. You have the super one.
It's the 11.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say you can
Yeah.
save that if you want to save it for the next time.
Okay,
If you want
then
to
I
just
will save it for
okay.
next time.
Yep. So you can just use a standard
I
blast.
let's see, 8. That's a 24 to hit.
That definitely hits. Okay, roll damage on the Eldritch Blast. 1d10.
I also have 1d10. That's an 8, but I also have Agonizing Blast.
Okay.
Which is
Is that the one that pulls
my
them
charisma
closer?
modifier. So 3. No, it's the one that adds my charisma modifier
Oh,
onto
okay.
the
All
damage. So 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. All right. That is way more than enough. So, how does your Shadow Flame consume this last Necromite? What happens as you kind of send this Necrolite back into the abyss?
Uh, the power starts pulsing, and that arcane focus that is the bracelet on their hand, and they just hold it up, and as they hold out the Eldritch Blast, it comes out in this purple-esque black cloud, and their eyes turn black as they release it.
Outstanding. All right, so in that, as you can see, Key's eyes turn black, and sort of the shadow flame all around them, and that sort of burst of energy, it sort of hits, sort of snakes around the corner, and kind of strikes this necrolite, and he is immediately consumed in searing shadow flames. But rather than a sweet release of death, he seems to be tortured by it and lets out this continued, prolonged, agonized scream as his body is consumed by the flames into a pile of smoldering ash. As you kind of survey the chamber itself here, there are stairs that descend into what seems to be sort of a partially collapsed crypt chamber. So you're starting to get the sense like this is an old system of crypts that sort of was below the bathhouse. The bathhouse itself might have been a mausoleum at one point long ago, but has since been, or part of it may have been a mausoleum, but this is now a bathhouse. And the partially collapsed crypt lies down the stairs. So there's a few different paths that you can take, and sort of that's what you're seeing before you. The chamber partially collapsed around a stone sarcophagus that seems to have been opened and looted long ago, at least from a cursory glance.
The
Are we
The-
going
the
to
lads-
continue?
well, first off, is everyone okay?
I'm okay.
Physically? Sure.
Physically is all that matters.
Oh, I was afraid you were going to say that.
I think we should try and investigate a little more.
I agree.
You did handle it
DM.
very well, masterfully. Yes.
Yes. We made short work. The body down here in the corner. First of all, how old does it look? Can I have a sense if it's like is it decayed at all? Because that would indicate that it's, more than like 3 days old. But
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to prod it too much then. I was
Fair
gonna
enough.
try to see if it was the missing person that we're after, but she hasn't been missing long enough for her body to look like that, so...
Correct. Could be
Yeah.
another missing person, but seems to have been deceased for some time.
I don't know anything about the other missing people, so it's hard to
Does
verify.
does the body in the corner have any like signet ring or any possessions of note that would help identify them, or is it just they've
Okay.
been like picked clean?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. It's again been dead for some time. It's been down here. It's kind of a little, precarious, kind of a foul smell here. So investigation check. Excuse me.
15.
15. Ahaha. Yes, you do find, kind of flipping through, you'd have to get a little closer with your token, but you do find, after searching for a couple of minutes, almost unbearably, you do find a very plain bronze signet ring that has the symbol of a dove that is carrying an olive branch inside of a wreath. And you can make a history check to discern which house that might be if you'd like.
I will do that.
And
That is a 14.
okay, so this is the symbol of House Chulindo. House Chulindo is the house that manages the Properties Guild. A copper ring likely represents a worker or employee of some time, not a direct family member. Someone that is affiliated with the Properties Guild, and then affiliated with House Chulindo in their employ in some way.
Harmony will relay that information to the party.
You do remember recalling that some of the folks that had gone missing were sort of classified as sort of civilians, civilians who had sort of stumbled into the situation one way or another, but as is the case with nobility and with people in power, they seem to be more concerned with Miss Badav. Not that that is right, obviously it's not, but it's very sad, likely some kind of a properties manager or a landlord of some kind.
What an unfortunate end. Well, should we continue?
I think we have to. The only way out is through.
Exactly.
Forward. All right.
Ooh.
A couple of different directions that you can traverse. The dungeon is your oyster.
Do we want to continue investigating down here, where more death may follow, or do we want to go and investigate the other rooms before making a decision?
Well, it looked like down those stairs was kind of a dead end, but
What is the box thingy?
That is a sarcophagus.
Oh,
It seems to have
Lovely.
been smashed and long since looted, but there are bones and the bones of a long deceased resident inside of the sarcophagus.
all right. Harmony, totally not out of morbid curiosity, is going to collect some of the bone dust into a vial and just
Ooh, okay.
put it away.
Well, as you kind of approach and start to sift through the bones of the deceased individual in the
Oh, no.
sarcophagus, you kind of turn your head to the side for a second and kind of dust off around something solid, and pull out an old dusty tome. It has an old sort of dulled ruby in the center of it, or old ornate binding and sort of pages that have been weathered by time. But when you open the book, the pages themselves almost start to become clear, and you almost immediately recognize this as a spell book that can be used by a wizard.
That is someone's entire college degree in my hands.
Yeah.
So much power.
Greetings, adventurers. Hello, Vancouver by night. Hello, how are
Well,
you? Welcome in.
Not power for you, but
No, but I can definitely hold it over them if they're still, if like something happened to them and they're suddenly alive. Harmony will, hey, that's good reading. She'll show it to the party. I found a book, if anyone's interested in...
Spell book.
Yes, a spell book, how fancy. I don't think any of us can use it, but...
What kind of a spell book?
Someone of a scholarly type of magic. Wizards, typically.
Okay,
are there many wizards here? You know, wizards on the coast?
Oh, no. No.
I said wizards on the coast.
Avalon, it took me a moment, and then I almost face-desked.
I'm so glad you can't tell when I facepalm with this VTuber.
The book is also bound in red leather and contains the following spells. Burning Hands detect magic. As I groan at that. Burning Hands detect magic. Disguise self, fog cloud, ray of sickness, silent image. Charm person, find familiar, identify, magic missile, sleep. Cloud of daggers, dark vision, detect magic, featherfall, mage armor, magic missile, Tasha's hideous laughter. Whoever Tasha is. And this seems to be quite a find. It's probably worth a fair amount of coin.
I was gonna
if we don't sell it, because I don't think any of us are wizards, but one of my siblings is.
It seemed to have been guarded, maybe a treasure that was hastily hidden or guarded by these sort of death cultists that were so eagerly searching for death at your hands.
Well, I didn't really plan on selling it. I do, even though I can't learn from this book, it's still good to have the knowledge from this book, so I would like to peruse and look at it in detail.
Yeah, disadvantage for the rest of the night to Avalon for that, from Rudolph. Go ahead, Harmony, sorry.
I accept the consequences of my actions.
Consequence.
Perhaps I can learn something about the construction of magic and, boring things.
And you're sure it's not cursed?
I would like to say I'm sure, but...
After we're done down here, I can take some time to see if there's anything secret about it, curses and such.
I think it's fine.
It might be. That ruby on the front is the thing that makes me a little nervous, because, I mean, those can hold all sorts of spells and enchantments and such, and...
Or souls. Gems hold souls, right?
Souls? You'll have to tell me more about that, because that sounds quite intriguing. From a purely intellectual standpoint, not because I have the intention of using it in any way.
Amina's just gonna side-eye her, shake her head, and walk away.
Understandable. Harmony will come out, and wherever you guys want to go next or investigate next.
I say we check out the other room here at this intersection.
Sounds good.
Meaning the door or down the hall?
Yeah, the other door here.
Okay, all right, perfect. This door, after seeing all three of them, does not appear to be locked. You're pretty confident in that after seeing the other three. The same system of doors.
Does it seem to have a trap?
Make an investigation check to double check. This might be the door that is trapped, so go ahead and double check for me if you wouldn't mind. You have that just a shred of doubt where you're like, maybe I should double check.
Well, I mean, we're in uncharted territory.
Yeah.
There's no reason to assume patterns.
No, totally.
Anyway, 14.
Okay, the goggles kind of whir a bit as you kind of get a closer look. It does not appear to be trapped. You don't see any mechanisms or sort of latches below, or sort of holes where a dart or something could come out of below the actual latch, so pretty confident. Not 100% confident, but fairly confident.
Seems like it's all right. With a deep breath, Willow slowly pushes the door open.
You kind of push down on the latch and push the door open. You open the door to another hallway. A somewhat long hallway. The door is not trapped. Dynamic lighting, go. There are 2 sets of steps that lead down.
All right, east or west? Which way are we going?
I don't mind, honestly. I'd pick a random direction and follow it. But we did spot the necromancy energy magic from the west. So it might be beneficial to go there first before delving into unknown territory.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right. Do you want to continue to lead the way?
I'm more than happy to. And Harmony will lead back to the brackish water.
Okay, all right. So seeing what Willow had seen there earlier, you can... There is kind of in the back wall of a dry alcove is hung a 5-foot wide, 7-foot tall tapestry depicting a grisly scene of 4 faceless figures ripping apart a 5th figure who is screaming in agony as he's being torn apart limb by limb.
Someone took the time to paint this.
Yes.
Honestly, the amount of detail is quite impressive.
It is
I officially
extremely
don't like this bathhouse
disconcerting.
anymore.
Yeah. The tapestry itself seems to be it seems to be, as you kind of admire it from your position, it does seem to be particularly moldy and dusty. It looks just unpleasant.
Can I just chuck a lightning at it and just see if I can burn it the rest of the way up?
Yeah, totally. You hear a
Yeah,
spark
Willow
of...
does that.
Okay, you hear a spark of energy from behind you, Harmony. And before you can react, a spark of lightning from the gauntlet as it hits the tapestry, and it starts to spark and ignites almost immediately, letting out a series of hisses as it begins to burn up.
Were you trying to activate something by doing that?
No, just activating, catching that thing on fire.
Thank you, Willow. It was awful.
I agree. All right, onward, I suppose.
Before we continue moving, DM,
Yes.
throughout our time walking on dry land, this place obviously looks decrepit. It's obviously quite old. Things are worn down. Does it look like there's been recent traffic through here other than us? Like, did dust settle and was disturbed by someone else, or are we the first ones to disturb it?
Heavily trafficked.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure this
Yes.
wasn't like a trap set by...
No,
I don't
no,
know why
no.
I call him John Paul. That's not his name.
Jean de Paul.
Jean Paul. Okay, Harmony will keep moving forward.
Okay. That was one of my favorite albums in high school. Feel I got to stick to my girls like glue and Monopoly number 2.
Such a good song.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Coming into another chamber. This is interesting. The decaying wooden beams. Oh, sorry. 3 wooden decaying beams brace the ceiling of this flooded chamber. You can hear the wood creaking as you enter. The chamber itself features a stone altar covered with entrails. Humanoid entrails. Fresh humanoid entrails. The northeast corner. Hanging on the wall above the altar is a 3-foot-tall steel mask in the form of a frowning human skull.
How does a skull frown? It's kind of a lip thing.
Terrifyingly.
Maybe the jaw is...
It's sort of like it's sort of a skull. It just kind of comes down. The upper jaw has like sort of it's almost like mandibles. Yeah.
That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't like this mission anymore.
There's a joke I want to make, but it's not in character to make, and it's killing me.
After Wizards on the Coast, you're not allowed to make jokes anymore.
Oh no, the puns. The return of the puns.
I wanted to say, I wanted to gesture to the human giblets on the altar, and then the mask, and be like, you'd think they'd be better at anatomy with all of the practice they've had. But I can't say that as Willow. She wouldn't say it.
Avalon.
Pain.
You said that they're fresh, right? These are
also
fresh
my question.
niblets.
How fresh we talking?
Okay. Probably like several hours, maybe earlier this morning.
And is it just the innards?
Yes.
Oh.
Is
So we don't know whose innards they are.
No. Is there like... Does the blood pool in the water here? Because it's quite stagnant, right? So I imagine the tainting of blood to water wouldn't move or be shifted anyway.
It's just, it just kind of drips off the altar into the brackish water.
Okay. That's not good.
Willow creeps a little closer to the altar to see if there are any things that are not entrails. Pulling from Harmony's idea earlier, signet rings, that sort of thing. Anything that sticks out among the human remains. Not touching anything, though.
Okay. Nothing sticks out from the human remains. They're just sort of heaped upon the altar. And you can see there is some kind of a stylized design on the wall behind the skull mask.
Can any of you move stuff, like, magically?
Nothing that
No.
heavy.
Sorry.
How high up is the mask?
It's
Like,
at
can I reach it?
just above eye level. So yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, am I gonna have to stand on the altar or something? Because I don't want to. Okay. All right. Just, I'm gonna. This might be stupid, but I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
Willow will carefully, with the prosthetic
said.
hand, lift the mask off the wall.
Okay. You remove the mask off of the wall. You have to get a little bit closer. So this square here. And you can see behind the skull mask is the symbol of the black sun that has been sort of elaborately painted onto the wall behind this altar. Sort of gold trim and the central sort of black sphere and the blazing sort of corona of this sun, this eclipse. And also you can get a better view of the body that is floating down the hall here in the water. Because there is a body floating down the hall, face down in the water.
Shit.
Is it a bleeding body or just a body? Is there like blood around it, or is it just there?
It's just floating face down in the water. There'd be a little bit of blood around, mixed in with the water, but it's dark. It's really hard to tell, but...
Yep, we'll get to that.
It's floating there.
Willow puts the mask in her bag of holding for the moment.
Okay.
Is this body pointed out?
It's a face down. It's a body that is floating there, face down, and it's in sort of like a very plain clothes, but just kind of floating there. There seems to be a mask that has been placed over the body's head.
I guess Harmony will. She's had such bad luck with corpses lately. I guess she'll go over and just give it a tap with her foot.
Okay. You kind of nudge the body in the water. It doesn't move. It's just floating there face down.
Okay, she's gonna flip it over.
You flip over the body and you can see as that there's a button-down shirt that has been exposed, and there is sort of a somewhat hastily stitched up, so you can see the scarring. There is the symbol of the black sun that has been carved into the belly of this individual. Like, his entrails were removed and placed on the altar, and then very specifically stitched up with the symbol of the black sun in his belly. And very clearly there is a signet ring that has been sort of attached to his neck with rope that sort of dangles there. And it seems to be gold with a red ruby. Red and gold, the colors of the Vascatoria.
Huh.
He's still wearing a mask.
Harmony will. One, does she recognize what house the signet ring is from?
This is the symbol of the Lord Governor.
Ooh.
You remove the mask.
Yep.
You kind of start to put two and two together. You remove the mask. And you can also see that this man's tongue has been removed. His eyes have been stabbed out. This is the body of the bodyguard of the Lord Governor, Mr. Haskell. And the symbol of the black sun, very intentionally, has been left as a mark, and his entrails have been removed. But he was an asshole, and he was a bastard.
He won't be haskelling anyone anymore.
You?
And on that note, that's where we're going to end the session.
No.
Always end on a joke.
Yes! But
Avalon,
you have...
why are you like this?
You all... Harmony, you have this moment where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you're like... It's that moment where you're like, wait a minute. What the fuck is happening down here? But the body of the bodyguard of the Lord Governor has been very specifically eviscerated and marked deliberately and placed down here in a most deliberate ceremony. So, let's go around the table and on that note, reverse order here. Let's let everyone in the internet know what we have going on in the meantime. Yeah, with that, Garnet, what you have going on in the meantime?
Hey y'all. Currently I don't really have anything going on because I've got finals. Send cookies.
Yeah.
I am stressed out. Other than that, not really much happening right now. Yeah, that's me. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Garnet. And Avalon.
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, I'm here twice every couple weeks, of course. I also voice act in various audio dramas and comedies. I don't have any huge updates at the moment, or I probably do, but I have forgotten them. I guess just stay tuned. I share stuff on Twitter and whatnot. Just yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, it's late. It's been a long, long week.
It's totally fine. It is very late. And Key, Rory.
I do art. That's what I do. Yeah. Those in the US remember tonight's daylight savings.
Yes, set your clocks spring forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I do art. That's me.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Rory. And Harmony, Renee.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Renee. I am the head of No Ordinary Heroes. So, we have streams, we have Let's Plays. We also just recently announced that we have our cast for a Radiant Citadel show that I'm going to be hosting on my channel. So I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited. Things are going to be pretty awesome. So if you're interested in that stuff, come on over to the Twitch channel and bully me into drinking water. Yay!
Yes. And
It's the only way you will.
I'm not gonna deny it.
I mean, same. Yeah, you have to bully me into drinking water. Same thing. So I totally get it. Yeah. there it
Damn
is.
it, even here.
Well,
Thank you.
slim pickings for a raid tonight. I think everyone has gone to bed, especially with the time change. I think everybody went to bed an hour early anyway. So with that, I will bid everyone adieu and good night, and we will see you back here for Stormwatch on the 20th. And we have, yes, another Heavensfire stream on the 18th. So we are playing again this Saturday. So that is first. So yeah, actually, technically, you're right. I'm sorry. Heavensfire is first on the 18th, and then we play Stormwatch on the 20th. And I believe our session 0 for Into the Old Margrave, which is our new Himbos, Thembos, Lady Himbos in the Woods, solving the world's problems accidentally with Cobalt Press's Tales from the Old Margrave. So you can check us out. That's going to be starting up in April. And we're going to have a couple of session zeros this month and more launch date TBD.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see y'all back here on Saturday.
See you soon.
Cool. All right. Good night, everybody. Be gay, do crime, all the good stuff. We'll see y'all this weekend. Bye.
Bye.